Okay, we're on.
So welcome back here to the Last Man Stands Australian Championships for 2008. I'm Peter Bowman and I'm joined by Dane, and I'm going to ask you to pronounce already seen a fantastic semi-final series.
Incredible so far.
We've got Enjoy the Ment from Sydney.
The surprise patch.
Absolute surprise patch. Punching above versus the local Tradies. You can't.
Dane Seed punches out to backward a point for a single. Big Brad took 3 for 10 off 3.4 in their qualifier against Ocean 12. One of the big reasons that of not only the conditions and ground, but the big stage, having been here before multiple times. Well played again. First few overs are going to be the first game back at 8:30 this morning. Who's your money on, Pete?
I'm with you, mate. While I would love to see an underdog get up, enjoyed every mouthful of it. But listen, I think Enjoy the Met have the arsenal to take it to. Drift with those massive shoulders of his, but then cutting away again beyond that.
Indeed. And we saw
a 20 T20 modified T20 format, 8-a-side T20, 5 ball overs, maximum of 6 in first of the 19 overs of both innings, where the first ball, or no ball, is worth 1 and any subsequent would be worth 3 plus whatever you might score off it. And then in the final over, all balls are re-bowled, but they're only worth 1, including the last ball, though, which can be hit for 6 and be a home run ball.
Indeed.
So if you followed all of that and understand it straight away, good.
Good for you. And now we have Michael Weir arrowing in, left arm around. On a length straight away, but nicely played, yeah.
Absolutely.
So quick hellos, Richie Granger and Shannon Ford, and also James Edward Kane, who was magnificent with 112 not out off 50 on day one. Still the only century of this tournament.
And Juhab Khan, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, Juhab.
Welcome everybody.
Nathan Tyrrell back in. Plenty of Cosgrove jokes to come, Nath. Oh, big hit. That's going up and up and up. And oh, that's a great catch. That's a massive wicket. That is a massive wicket for Enjoy the Ment.
And that's that man, Vivek. He's in it.
Wow.
Once again, a great catch down on the fence. Jordan Renault, out for 5 off 5. Going the bomb with the wind. Didn't quite get it all
Goodness me. This we talked about this in the previous game, where
Indeed.
you know that argument of letting them hit with the wind early and then tying them down. I mean, maybe that's it. False sense of security.
Definitely. A solid strike, you know, that might find clear. You might find that might clear the pickets on other grounds, but this is a larger ground, and that is a well taken catch, an important catch.
Trigger almost scored 100 earlier in the competition as well with a 94.
A lot of which as last man.
Absolutely, and that's a massive start to this final.
Huge.
We should say here that the winners of this final get free entry, I believe, to the World Championships next year. But all 4 semi-finalists, I believe, qualify.
Indeed they do.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. So the World Championships next year in Sydney in the second week of December.
In again. Finding decent length. Punched away out to point, and I'll take a single.
So I'm a bit interested there that Renault opened the batting, given he came in at 3 last time, and this was in fact the opening partnership.
That's a good point. An interesting adjustment.
Why change anything when it's not broken?
Finals can do some funny things. I'm sure they had more than sufficient reasoning. However, plan didn't quite work out this time, and the classic pair are now back together with plenty of time to rebuild. Renault, as we saw on day one, scored a lot of those runs as last man. He's a powerful and dangerous batsman. Perhaps it was to go 3 sheets to the wind, see if it came off, and if not, he wouldn't waste many balls or time.
And didn't.
And didn't in this case. A good catch down there. The catching at these higher end games is a massive step up.
Absolutely.
Nice full length, squeezed down to backward point.
Funnily enough, I've not seen a lot of catches dropped. Those that I have seen go down have been, you know, running away with the wind or, you know, having to cover some ground. Not a lot of simple catches go down.
Not at all. The technical skills with each sort of big level game you get through just get higher and higher.
I think in that last game we saw Brodie put one down that realistically was probably going through a third slip sort of area. So the fact that he got a glove on it at all was a surprise.
Yeah, not much gets past these boys.
So both of these teams, as we've talked about, is Enjoy the Ment have just been the smokies of the tournament. There was probably these guys in NCT 8, which sort of snuck through the background into the final 16, and then these guys have managed to come the whole way through, knocking off some big guns wide of the wicket.
Slashed away.
Yep, out through point.
At least
4 runs. Yeah, they're not going to be able to afford to do that. I think probably he didn't need to dive as early as he did then.
I might have misread that a little bit.
Yeah.
Reece Finns away, moves to 6 off 3 with that. Blasting shot.
Yep.
That's Vivek's first ball, as we know. Was very economical in the last game, 1 for 25 off 4. One of the pillars that contributed to that solid win over Ocean 12. And yesterday, knocking out Bomb Squad with 5 for 10 off 3.4, including a hat-trick.
5 and a hat-trick.
Unbelievable scenes.
Yeah.
Good bowling.
Lovely shot.
And nicely played. They'll double up there.
Easy. They might even get there to 4. That's a big chase down there. But that's a fantastic chase, but they're 4 runs. Interestingly as well, these 2 batsmen competed for man of the match honours, I think, in that last game.
They did indeed.
Fantastic opening bowling spell from Dane, and then for Reece got some stick for his first 3 overs and then took 2 for in his final over to...
Marty the Goat got into him a little bit.
Absolutely.
But, Reece pulled it back and ultimately knocked the second 11 out. Vivek none for 8 off 2. Atypical of him. He'll be looking to dry up this over with his last 3. In again. Good ball. Nice shot though.
That's a lovely shot, isn't it?
Reamed through the covers.
Wax lyrical about those cover drives. I love them. It's just one of the most graceful shots in cricket,
Well,
I think.
it is indeed. And at T20 level, it's always one to savour.
Yeah.
And that was up there with the best of them. That was a beautiful shot. Reece Finns jets his way to 14 off 5 now. And Vivek, a 4 off each of his first 3 balls. That's really offset that early wicket. And once again, we see these top-level sides, they don't cave into the pressure of losing 1 or 2 early. Still right on the front foot here, charging hard against Vivek in again.
Well, I've rolled the fingers over that one.
He took a bit of pace off.
Yeah, very high action from Vivek as he hits the crease.
Nicely bowled, punch down for a single.
It's easy to say when you're in this position to pick exactly what he's bowling, but I'm sure that I'd have no clue with the bat in my hand down the other end. But
yeah, I'd be fearful of anyone who knocked a Hattie over and a 5-banger in a large knockout final.
Yes.
Last ball of the 3rd over.
Oh, full.
Yes. Round of fingers again. Yeah. This time squeezed out to deep cover for a single.
Not much footwork there from the batsman.
Hey, big Danos.
Welcome to everyone watching the coverage from around Australia and around the world. You are watching the Last Man Stands Australia Championships for 2018 live from Runaway Bay. I am Peter Bowman and I'm joined by Dane Rizkowski.
Perfect.
Thank you, Dane. I'll work on that all afternoon. Big Brad McGrath coming into bowl again.
Yep, he'll be a key. I'd say he'll burn 2 up front and then save himself for the death, much like the first game. And he was justified in doing so. Bagged 1 for 9 off his first 2, then 2 for 1 off his next 9 balls, ultimately squeezing Ocean 12 at the death.
Right, I'm over again. Oh, very. Geez, he's bowling a heavy ball today. That's just sort of coming through shin height. I think it's funny about that because he's almost 6'3", I would think, and getting that high action and getting it to stay low there. Good running there from the batsman from Tradies you can't trust.
Absolutely. They'll look to double up as often as possible. Large field and plenty of gaps with the 8-a-side format.
Shannon Forward suggests they need to bowl spin. Well, we've seen today that the deck really does. Lovely shot again.
Beautiful. Crunch.
Great shot. Wonderful cricket shot there. But we have seen this deck taking spin. I don't know that there is a spinner got the mental lineup.
Well, we didn't see one in the first game. We saw Lydon Gibbons bowl 2 for 22 or 4, and Travis Harker 1 for 25 or 4 in the previous game. Some excellent spins, some very telling performances there.
Right on over again into the batsman. Lovely cut shot.
Yeah, well
just
played.
Down to a backward point. Bit
Eventually
of a bobble.
Stops it.
Indeed. We did see some success also with Chris Corbett sort of bowling some little noodlers in there as well, taking the pace off. And I
think he was bowling at about 58%. And then whether that's due to 4 days of straight cricket and a few beers or tactical, I'm sure he'll tell you it's tactical, all tactical. But it was very effective.
Yes, welcome to Phil Callahan from LMS Melbourne.
G'day there, Phil. How are you, mate?
Oh, wide ball.
Yep, sprayed that one a little. It is still hooping in. And I think that's just going to be a natural byproduct of his high arm and heavy shoulder action.
Absolutely. For all of you that are watching and want to know how to become part of the Last Man Stands family, lastmanstands.com. If you click on the register button at the top, you'll be able to find your local leagues that will be starting again soon.
Yeah, big summer coming up. Big Bash starts soon. That always gets the temperature rising.
That's a beautiful shot there again. Split the field.
Like that. Wow.
I just don't think he's quite wide enough there on that delivery. I mean, if you're going to bowl that far outside off stump and make him play for that, I think you've got to push that a little bit wider into forcing Warren there to make the call on the wides.
Yeah, indeed. Reece Finn now has punched half his deliveries to the fence, 20 off 8. What early wicket, he says. Nate Shoot, Trent Thompson tuning in. So.
Paul Marchese from the Rock Lobsters. G'day. Oh, that's a mark. See, that's what I'm talking about. He's moved that a bit wider. Lack of footwork. Yep. Throwing it over the top. Paul says good luck to Brad McGrath's men. Paul from down in Wollongong. So,
it's the end of the 5th now. So 37 for 1. Sorry, of the 4th. 37 for 1. So an early wicket, but the run rate's still right up. It's well over 9. And Brad McGrath going for 9 more runs in just 2 overs than he did in 3.4 last game. Different game altogether, this one. The absolute final. And Tradies you can't trust already have 2 pieces of silverware in the cabinet. They'll be looking for a 3rd. Enjoy the men.
They'll be the first to win the 3 championships as well. Both themselves and second 11 have 2.
And this will be a massive upset.
Oh, that's gone. That's gone. Straight over the top of the roller there. Wow, that's possibly close to the second biggest 6 I've seen this weekend. Hi from LMS USA from a Pervenaire. G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
Oh, big day for the Central Coast from Trent Thompson. One in all the 2018 plate champions. Congratulations, lads.
Oh, well done.
Playing over on the back fields there.
Fantastic work.
If it's the matching question, I think maybe there was 200 scored and then they rolled the second team for 90. Well done to the Central Coast. Relatively new franchise area for last man stands. Michael Ware coming to bowl now. Left arm around the wicket.
That's
no ball.
Front foot.
Wow, well, that's costly. Sorry, was that Michael Ware?
There.
Yes, it is. So that's a free hit in this format for any no balls. Costly.
Costly potentially, especially with the way he hit him. Get a quick g'day to Seth Lowes as well. Solid nuts, high performer from Brisbane. How are you, mate? Hope you're doing well. Free hit here. Got it.
Oh, smashed it.
Smoked.
And, loads of trajectory.
That is all the way, wow.
Rodney Magoo from Canberra to us saying that apparently it's raining on LMS Day in Canberra today, so good to see the good weather. It has been amazing weather up here. I believe it's the first time in about 5 or 6 years that it hasn't rained at some point throughout the tournament.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. That was flat as attack, smoked it. Arrowing in again.
That's close.
That is
close. Wow.
I'd say this will still be called a leg by. The argument must be outside leg.
Wow. Well, from my angle on the pitch there, I would want to see that again.
I think it was halfway up, but
yes.
Loads of experience for the ump, so
absolutely.
He's got the better angle, but best view in the house.
Someone did say to me the other day that is not afraid to give an LBW, so I think he might have been on the other end of one of those.
Fair call.
Oh,
Good
low
bowler.
again.
Yep. Tucked away.
Much better from Michael Boland over the wicket. I think it's one of the things that I find difficult sometimes with left-handers bowling round the wicket, trying to get that extra angle, and when they have that natural angle already. It's a bit like young leg spinners I see bowling round the wicket all the time. It's just something that doesn't sit quite well with me.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. One to come in the fifth. 52 already on the board just for the one.
Wow.
Flying. Keeping low. Squeezed.
Again, it shows in this format, though, that if you're playing cricket shots, how quickly you're up to 10 and over.
Incredible.
When there's really not that much going. We've seen a couple of big zacks, but then we've seen 5 or 6 boundaries through the cover region.
And that's the thing that sets these teams apart. So we're 5 overs down, 1 for 53. Dane Seed 26 off 13, a boundary and 2 sixes. And Reece Finn 21 off 10 with 4 boundaries. Some beautiful cover drives in there.
Richie Granger says that the first drop from Ocean's 12 put Troy onto the green shade screen. It was absolutely huge.
Shot. I was worried for the young children playing in there. Thankfully the net was there.
Richie
was bombed.
Richie, I only heard rumour of a 6 that was hit bigger than that yesterday out on number 3. I don't know who that was that hit that, but I believe he said that he won't stop talking about it for the rest of his life.
I can't say I know who that is. Otherwise I'd love to chat about it.
Right, I'm over the wicket really fast. That's
too
a wide.
The pace is up.
Absolutely really attacking the crease there, I think.
Sean Lawrence bursting through to the crease.
Mm-hmm. So that wind has just picked up.
Has indeed.
For any of them, you can see the trees behind the sight screen down there. They're really starting to pick up now. It's also changed direction, so it's now coming from behind the camera and going down the ground. Oh, inside out. That's a great nut. Man, that third man's going to be pushed. No, he's coming around easy to pick that up.
Just the single that time. Good coverage of ground.
That's probably an interesting point to make, though, here. Only a single. The second 11s, obviously under the pump, slightly different scenario, but we're really pushing the twos. Yep. And I think tradies can't just give up singles, I think.
No, they can't. They're under the gun here for the fact that they played not very many minutes ago. So they might be feeling a little bit tighter around the running. Bursting through the crease again. That's hit for 6.
That's a great 6. Yes, fantastic 6 there.
Picked up the length early and absolutely smoked it.
Morgan Smith says that Sean White lightning Lawrence.
Well, that makes sense. He is hitting the crease hard.
He seems slightly smaller or shorter than the other great South African White Lightning. Neil Smith, I've been told I'm not allowed to say. No, in all fairness, I probably just... that person probably just got lucky.
Freudian slip there. Here he comes again. Looking for
Lovely
vengeance.
shape,
Yeah,
lovely shape. That is great. Oh,
good
geez.
reflexes. He's flying around at the moment, high
Absolutely.
energy. Just looking at that replay, yeah, he's hit that clean. Picked up the length so early. Not a hell of a lot on him, but he can hit a ball.
Absolutely.
It's been bursting through cover, and that one easily cleared the pickets.
Well, I think that there's lovely
Punched
again.
away
Just
out in the
punched it.
covers.
Yep.
This will be a
And this
well-run
is-
team.
Yeah, that's what I like to see from Tradies. Yep. So I think we've said over the coverage today. I mean, we both think par's about 140.
Yeah, I would say so. The more and more games we watch and the higher the level gets, you have to keep moving that up. It was around 130 for the general games of the tournament. Higher stakes, higher standard now.
Oh, roll the fingers on that one as well.
Yep.
Just over the back of the ball. It's a
So
nice adjustment for the batsman.
Lawrence finishes his first, none for 11. Plenty to like though. He's bowling at good pace, zooming around. I think we'll see him peel that back a little bit. But Tradies moving ever so nicely along. 64 for 1 off 6. Dane 28 off 15. And Reece Finn 30 off 14, opening his Dorothy account with a lovely mow over mid-wicket.
So speaking of exciting, mate, you heard about this new Super Series that's starting up in 2019.
Have indeed. Very exciting.
Oh, that's another big
Just
six.
like that. That is huge.
Wow.
That's over the nets now.
Wow. Someone get the kids out of the playground over there. Wow.
And that's huge from Reece. He really can hit that shot. Honestly, there is nothing. He's a trim young fella, and he has put that 35 metres over
Easy.
the rope.
And this is not a small ground by any stretch. I think if you've been playing shots like this and been in Sydney, you might have been eligible for the Super Series.
It's actually up on the nets.
Oh, it's up on the nets. Wow.
Solid strike.
So the Super Series, though,
Yes,
Dane,
back to
is starting up in Sydney. It'll be on the Australia Day long weekend this year. 6 franchised teams.
Yeah, we're really moving now.
The Newcastle Flyers, named after the old train that used to run between Newcastle and Sydney.
Lovely.
Yeah. The East Coast Whales, the Central Coast Chargers, the Illawarras. Seriously, Illawarra, you guys need to get a new sort of thing for your sports team. No, don't be just joking with the Rock Lobsters, boys. Western Panthers and the Parramatta Blue Tongues. I think the Blue Tongues, that's the typical Australian name there. That's a cracker. But they're it's an IPL type franchise system. Lots of gun players coming in.
Cannot wait for that. Vivek in again.
Oh, a bit wide there,
He's
yes.
starting to spray a little bit. The pressure's on him.
Yeah, interesting there. I don't know if it was fuller and it was just the tail end, but that one almost ran along the ground after it hit there.
Sure did.
So a lot more to see. Go to lastmanstands.com
Yeah, that's
to
going to
talk
be
about that
huge.
Super Series, but that's going to be massive. The best of the best.
Seriously boutique stuff now. Vivek in again.
Oh,
That one
that's-
arrowing in. That's a better length. And that's what he's got to do more of. That's what he did a lot of yesterday.
Yeah.
But
That wrist really pointing to leg there as that follow through.
Reece Finn punches it out into cover. He moves to 38 off 17. Really moving now. Oh, that's a wide. Outside off this time.
Can't afford to give up the 3 on the second wide.
No, and
In the over.
Vivek's figure's getting a bit nasty now. None for 25 off just 8 rocks. That's something he's going to want to either tail back really quickly or he might get dragged. Tradies into the mid-70s now.
Oh, that'll be close.
Must be just sliding.
Oh, bowlers. Always disappointed. I agree, though. I think that was probably sliding
Just
down
sliding.
leg.
And I'm sure
dear.
one of us will find Vivek later and he'll tell you otherwise. But a very good ball nonetheless, and irrespective of outcome there. Here he comes again for the last ball of his second. Takes the pace off that. And that's more of the stuff we've been used to all tournament.
Played around the outside of that. Big guy. Just started to bring himself down there to that level.
So 7 gone, 1 for 75. An early wicket. Jordan Renault caught on the long on pickets for 5 off 5. Caught well by Vivek to the bowling of Weir. But ever since then, it's been action-packed and boundaries and sixes galore. And Enjoy the Ment are really going to have to peel this back because as we saw, anything sort of upward of 150 or 160 on this is tough chasing.
Absolutely. I mean, now they've got some batting in this lineup as well. Obviously, they've had to chase some totals.
Oh, absolutely.
But obviously, the pressure would be on the Viveks and the Brads of the world. I mean,
Definitely.
Michael Ware can bat as well. I know. I don't know much about the other guys, and I think that's probably in their favour. White Lightning pushing through the crease again. Oh, dragged across the line. That's probably the first false shot I think that we've seen from Reece.
It's a little bit dirty.
Yeah, I think every other one he's had there, he's put out through cover.
Indeed. I think with the way that he took the pace off it, he had to check the shot and just roll the wrists into mid-wicket, where there is, to be fair to him, a lot of gap, so it was always going to be a nice single.
Absolutely.
He's played better shots, though, that's for sure. Dane back on strike. He's 31.
A bit full.
Clanked it.
Squeezed that. Yeah, the batsman not happy with how he's hit that one.
Yeah, we know he can hit better than that. He moves to 32 off 19, so they are keeping a good pace here.
And I think they'd be pretty confident, again, one or two of these guys in the bank, and and then we'll see the fireworks.
Very important stuff. If they can knock both these boys back in the shed. Lightning in. Very
great
good. This
seed.
is better stuff.
Great seed. Good adjustment from the batsman there as well.
We were talking briefly before about battles within the game itself, and this is a nice little battle here. So whilst the run rate itself is skyward of 10 at the moment, the last 5 balls have been ... 1 1 1. So
Yeah.
a little fight back.
Yep.
They'll want to get that under 10 though.
Good bowling from the 22.
Yep. In he comes again.
Oh,
Wide, yeah. Kept low too. Probably
yeah.
it made it look a bit awful.
Yeah.
Wasn't a bad ball, it was just a little wide, but the low bounce sort of exaggerated it.
Now we're slightly off centre from the pitch,
Yeah.
but there's certainly that spot at that far end there in that wide zone that's staying low. So
It is.
yeah.
And it's no danger to the bat of
No.
getting rolled by a grubber or anything, but it just kind of exaggerates things a little bit, and a fourth day pitch will do that.
Absolutely.
Good
Or
ball.
toed. Oh, unlucky.
Bit of a ricochet.
Would've
I
been-
don't think it'll cost him any more than 1 though.
Would have been good for the Socceroos back of the net.
He moves well across the ground, the young fella.
Yeah, Robert McLaughlin, we don't have the team lineups right in front of us, but roughly you've got Reece, you've got Dane here, Jezza, you've
Renau,
got
Gibbo, Harker.
yeah,
So much.
Corbett,
Yeah, Corbett. I'd say identical to the last match.
yeah.
Winning formula and all that. Lightning won to finish his second.
Oh, love it,
Good ball.
love it.
Well
Oh,
hit though. That'll test the fielder.
yeah, well down.
Covers
Ooh,
good ground. A parry.
Yeah,
Oh.
great bit of fielding there, mate. Great bit of fielding. Stopped it on the third grab. Well done, buddy.
And
Tin
that's
man on his back, but there's certainly lots of heart in there.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
You've been waiting for that.
I have been waiting for that all week.
Sometimes things just work. So very good to finish. Looked a lot better that over, Sean. Went for just 7 after some great fielding there. Got it in the end. 1 for 82 off 8, so they're still holding just above that 10, but they've been dragging it back for the last few balls.
The other things to look out for in a busy 2019. We've got the Super Series at the start of the year in Sydney. It's going to be sensational. We have, there's been a few rumours flying around about where next year's Nationals would be, and one of those was that it wasn't going to be here. Well, I can quash that rumour and say that it will be at Runaway Bay again in 2019.
Fantastic news.
But there will be, oh, lovely.
Nicely played.
Geez, listen, there wasn't much wrong with that ball.
No.
It was a lovely shot, and
They'll double up though.
they will. So yes, so I can let people know that next year's national championships or Australian championships will be at Runaway Bay, but there'll be an adjustment of the time to account for World Series in December. So they'll be in September at Runaway Bay. Dates to be announced in the future. So start penciling in your leave for next year, guys. There were 42 teams here this year.
Huge.
So based on that and win a World Series year, people are going to be locking in spots early. So looking forward to that already.
Yeah, it's just going to get bigger and bigger now.
Oh,
Good bowling.
That was great bowling and a good adjustment from the batsman as well, because he had a big arc on that.
So the tin machine is into his first over. Looks good. High arm action. Delivering from a decent height as it is. Looks like he'll just try to arrow it in a little bit. He's certainly not going to beat anyone for pace, but I don't think that's any of his charm. His charm is putting it on a spot and letting the pitch decide whether it's going to stay lower or bounce up a little bit. He comes in again. Oh, moving across is given him.
Goodness. Oh, boy, and told him where the pavilion is.
Him.
Get out of it.
Oh, spicy.
Wow, my goodness. The big unit thought he'd defend the little guy there. But I have to say, Reese, once you've been given, there's not much point arguing with an umpire.
Yeah, I think the indication was maybe glove or even bat.
Well,
a wonderful innings.
Well, if it was glove, you know.
Yeah, very paddy sounding, isn't it?
But, I mean, listen, we're sliding slide off centre. I'd have to go back and have a look at the replay.
No, I couldn't see one way or another.
So
he did move across, looking for another boundary in an excellent innings. Irrespective of his thoughts on the decision and whether that was indeed out or not. 42 off 21, he did a wonderful job there.
Here's the replay coming up now. Well, listen, based on that replay, I think the decision's probably right, but obviously the batsman, I'd say, thinks he got a piece on it.
Yeah, and he would probably know, and speaking with him very briefly, seems like a good kind of fella, but, you know, there was a lot there that was right about it. Danny Dent gave him a bit of a pat on the bum and a send. He's in for his fourth.
I think that upset his partner.
Big Dane. It's not a man you want to upset.
Oh dear. On your way, chum, he said. Shower, cold taps on the left.
So one to come in his first.
I must admit, I didn't expect that it would be enjoy the Ment. With the casual, suggestions on where you might want to go to after you've been out, but
true.
Oh, stayed low.
Good bowling.
Squeezed that out. So it's really important now, I think, for Dane to get his 50. I don't think we can stress that enough.
Yeah, he has to now.
So get that, put it in the bank. I think then we can look at. The Lydens of the world coming out and...
he's not going to ever waste any time.
No.
So that's 9 gone, 2 for 87. The man out, Reece Finn, given LB, 42 off 21. Reece McCarthy, the new man to the crease, he's 1 off 1.
Now, Reece McCarthy was electric in that last game. Oh, boy, did he get some away. Yes.
And a quick skim of the bowling figures. Brad McGrath and Michael Weir opened up. None for 19 off 2 for Brad. 1 for 19 off 2 for Michael. Vivek, none for 25 off 2. We've seen better from him this tournament. Sean Lawrence, who's got the pill in his hand now, none for 18 off 2 presently. Bowled a much better second over. And Danny Dent, 1 for 5 off his first. Here we go.
Oh,
angling
lovely.
In. Dropped the pace, probably intentionally.
Yeah.
But
dangling the bat out and following it. It's probably fair to say that Vivek's not, bowled as badly as what maybe 0 for 25 says.
Pretty harsh, but... that's the way it goes. I'm sure he's got the class to fight it back. But
two slow balls in a row? Yeah,
ooh,
he tried it. He tried it.
Too wide, that one.
Yeah. Very much a baseball grip on that, I think, when he was coming through.
Yeah, I think, very much so. Dane moves to 39 now. Strike rate of 150. It's cooled a little bit. I suppose that wicket will do that. But he's done another very good job. Put his side in a very good position once again. And again, contact.
I'll give him points for being brave enough to go down that same path again.
Yeah.
But there's a big reach on the big man.
Yeah, that's right. And if he gets hold of it, it's going to go.
Yeah,
and it did
piece.
go.
Absolutely.
Well-placed fielder, though. 3 balls left in the 10th, and then we'll swap ends. 89 on the board, 2 down. Tradies probably would have taken that.
And again, full.
Very full.
Squeezed it out.
Yep, squeezed. I think Reece might bat in the slipstream for a moment, just to gather a little bit of, it's not intel, but just to settle in a little bit again. And he'll look to feed Dane as many of the balls as possible to get the big fella back in the sheds.
I can't believe I forgot that, Reece, when I was rattling off the team before, to be honest.
We both squared in there, didn't we? Lightning in again.
Oh, yes. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't, well, listen, from this angle, it didn't look like he was anywhere near it. So
Yeah, I'm even further down to sort of a mid-onny. I can't sort of hazard a guess.
I would,
Shout.
I would suggest to you in the stakes of walking or not walking, any chance of walking has gone out the door. I would think, given the last wicket.
I think the bum pat from Danny Dent might have sealed that off.
I think so.
Few comments. Just seeing whether they thought that first one was out. Oh, he's done him.
Oh, he's got him there. Oh, he'll get a bit of chap now as well, I would think. Wow.
Stayed a bit low.
They are super excited.
Well, they're fired.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, this is going to go one or two ways, I think.
Yeah, indeed. There's some spice. See, down at third man from this end. There's some na-na-na-na going on. Is that...
oh, dear me.
Is that the NZ boys?
It might be. It might be. They've picked their team.
Yeah, they've picked their team.
I think it's a little bit like I said to someone the other day when they asked us who we were playing. We said second 11, and I said, well, the first thing we might do is just take them on in the sledge. And the person looked at me and I said, no, don't be silly. I'm not going to fire second 11 up any more than I need to.
Do that.
But I think it could be foolish for the Enjoy the Ment guys here to start.
Yeah, you want to keep it on a simmer. You don't want to go to full boil because the tradies have a few gears and a few tricks up their sleeves still. They've been here and done it before multiple times. Dane Seed out to that one, indicating as he walked off that he felt it kept a little low. He was ultimately beaten by it, but another fantastic contribution of 40 off 29 from the big man. And I reckon we remarked early into his spell in the last game that he was bowling within himself. I reckon that that dismissal and subsequent banter might see him bend the back a little bit when he gets the ball.
Lydon Gibbons coming in here now.
Yep.
Almost 6,000 runs in LMS, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I think Reece Howe said that's not out. Reece, I'd suggest you just have a look at the scorecard again. It's definitely out. No adjustment there. Dear. Here's the one they want to chat. Oh, no, they don't.
Danny Dent.
Oh, there it is again. Oh, I love that shot out there. Just the one.
We saw him do a lot of that earlier in the previous match. It's coming off his blade so well.
Absolutely.
He's already looking set. Lido on strike now. Danny Dent arrowing in.
Rob McLaughlin, you don't want to start Lydon talking. Everyone knows that. Tin Man coming in again. A lot of loop.
Took
wow.
the pace right off it. Lido tucks around the corner.
Coming back
He'll
for
be
two?
back. Yep.
Yeah, back for two.
Yeah, he's still got an extra gear or two.
Or maybe three. Oh, look. Well. Yeah. Smart cricket there from Lydon.
Yeah, he knew straight away.
Yeah.
That the throw was off.
Danny Batcher probably didn't really need to make such an aggressive throw back, I don't think.
I think the second was definitely a safety. Pressure can do that, even to a man as classy and experienced as Batra. The tin machine rolling in for his third. No, just a field adjustment. Bringing the man at third man in a good 5 to 10 metres. Obviously indicating where he's going to bowl, outside off.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
it is.
edged.
And
It'd be a good piece of
down.
fielding to get this.
Will.
Yeah, good coverage.
Great coverage. from
Lovely
White
work.
Lightning.
Yep, lovely work from Lawrence.
They double up though. Yeah, that's great ground speed.
So 96. Well, I think mine was refreshing now, but 96 a scorecard. What are you thinking for a finish here, mate? 170, 180?
Well, yeah. Ooh,
Oh.
took the pace off
Might
there.
be bowling that.
He's got a few tricks, the old Tin Man.
He does.
I think I'll reserve judgment until 13 or 14 gone. I think the next few overs are going to possibly define the match, because these boys don't like to hang around and muck around. There'd be a chance for a wicket or some serious runs. Good bowling. But I think from this point, Tradies wouldn't want much less than 175 as an absolute minimum.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I'm with you. I'm going to give it another over. But I have a gut feeling that with no more wickets in the next 2 overs, I think that there's a 180 plus on the cards. But
Yeah,
we know
that's what
that
I'm
we know that Brad's got 2 more overs to come back to. He's got a number of other bowlers he can choose from here. Who knows? I mean, if Reece bats the same way he batted in the semi-final, then there's probably a 30 or 40 there. Lydon's got a 30 or 40 in him. That's 180's not out of the question.
Definitely not. So we've seen with Sean Lawrence here to bowl his 4th and final. He has 1 for 21 off 3. He went for 11 off his first, and then to 7, and then to 3 with a wicket. He's been arrowing it back all the while. If he does that again this over, it'll be a top spell after a shaky start. Good ball, cracked, out to cover.
Yeah, didn't get a great piece of that, but they'll come back for 2.
They will come back. As a general rule, fitness notwithstanding, if the fielder out there doesn't have the ball, by the time they can set off for the second, they'll take it. I'm definitely excluded from that logic.
Myself included.
As a general rule, that seems to be the way with these top teams. And a perfect execution there. Well placed drive, Lido away. Lightning in again. Straight, lowish bounce.
Lydon just on the move a little bit there.
Yes, interesting. He's obviously keen to get a go on.
If you look at the way that they've spread the field here, and listen, I understand it's a final. It disappoints me sometimes to see people not set more aggressive fields.
And then big on that. I like it.
Yeah.
Good shot. Tucked away down.
That'll be 4 runs.
Yeah, that'll go all the way. Lovely shot. But to be fair, it was there for the taking.
If you think about it in the opening overs of the match, we've got set power plays now, and they're very rarely used. And I kind of think that there's bowling in this lineup that could have used those and really tried to push the ball across and,
for sure,
reduced some of that opportunity. I mean, you do run that risk, of course, if you shorten up that you're going to end up over the mid-wicket boundary. But I just think that people need to look at that a little bit more.
There's more to be done with it, that's for sure. Enjoy the Ment. Are a bit of a Frankenstein team of sorts, clumped together by 2 or 3 teams from down south. Probably still getting used to that aspect of their chemistry.
Lydon.
Great shot.
Again, not out of the middle, but, maybe he's just getting a few siders.
But full credit to them. They've been wonderful all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think there's more to be done. So the one gap they've left open is through long off. There's a lofted drive down there. But squeezed.
That's a great delivery.
Yeah,
and
the French cut, that'll go again.
Go for 4. Yep.
Unlucky.
All the
Figure
way to
spoiling.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the end of over and spell. Sean Lawrence finishes with 1 for 32 or 4. That's an unlucky finish. A couple of, a French cut for 4. Sullying those figures slightly, but an important wicket. And 3 for 107 off 12. They're just the smallest tick under 9 and over, with still plenty in the bank and plenty of talent in the bank, more importantly.
So you'd have to think that with 8 overs to go, I think Lydon's got 1 more over, and then
he'll go.
And then he'll go.
I tend to agree. He's a pretty aggressive batsman at the best of times.
That's right. Force the hand. See if Brad has to, make the decision to bring himself back on earlier.
Indeed.
It's sort of a little bit of flex of the knee there.
Yeah, interesting. Welcome to Johnny McKenna. G'day, mate. Sorry can't be here today.
Met Johnny for the first time the other day. Lovely lad.
Yeah, top shelf.
Question the catch you took off me, Johnny.
Good bowling. And Vivek will be desperate for a wicket here after conceding 25 in his first 2, as we saw with his performance this morning and yesterday. That is not a reflection of who he is as a bowler.
Oh, no way.
But even then today, 25 off 2 seems a bit harsh.
So really high. It's interesting to watch that action from this angle now and seeing the front
different.
on. Yep, so he's rolled the fingers the other way that time, and listen, that's, wow. I think that, there's been a very generous wide sort of call here today, and that one sort of hit and cut away, so there's a real chance that it's cut away after it's gone past the stumps there, but I think that it's going to be interesting to see, because traditionally, he's done it again.
Yeah,
so he bowls that one that goes away, and then cocks the hand a different way to go back the other way. But so from my prediction, from what he's bowled so far, this one will be a slower ball. Let's see if I'm just spinning
the money here.
Let's see if I'm just spinning the chocolate wheel on this one.
Great shot, and there's that gap, so they'll at least
give me the lotto numbers, someone, please, someone. 4 runs.
That's all the way to the fence. That great shot.
It's a good shot from Lydon. Lydon ticks along to 15 off 7 balls.
Yeah, one to come in this over. Just to intercede here.
Mm-hmm.
Still got a few raffle tickets left, some wonderful prizes. They're $2 a pop or 3 for $5 if you're wanting to get down here. It's for the AJ Trust. Yeah. Wonderful bowling there. AJ Trust.
Big appeal for the for a wicket there. Now with the AJ's Trust here, Dane. So the AJ's Daughters Trust is a trust set up obviously for AJ's daughters. Raffle prizes: 2 tickets for $2 a ticket or 3 for $5. There's a Kookaburra bat, a New Balance bat, signed Steve Smith bat, 4.5 litre Shivers Regal bottle, Johnny Walker Black Label, Isaac Rodder signed T-shirt from the Queensland Reds, Brisbane Heat shirt signed as well. Buy tickets from the management desk. We have 2 lovely barrel girls behind me standing in a Colts and an AJ Trust shirt. So they will be wandering around the grounds here at Runaway Bay to selling the tickets. When's it going to be drawn, lads? So after the game, at the presentation, it'll be drawn today. So fantastic. All the proceeds from the shirts as well. If you haven't... Oh, lovely ball on the flicked around the corner. If you haven't seen these shirts, they're certainly in the Australian Rugby League sort of design. They are fantastic. I've got one myself. Got the long sleeve version of them. All the profits from those shirts go to the AJ Trust. It's a fantastic
wonderful
cause, and it's certainly memory of a bloke that we all love for many different reasons. Absolutely. And certainly made LMS a brighter place. So we miss him dearly. Oh, straight down the ground, long on. That's out of the park. There we go. Yep, that was the one over. So the boys will be coming round, as I said, to buy these raffle tickets for the Trust. Get behind a great cause. There'll be a number of different things that'll happen over the course of the years, but this will be one of the key ones each year. Thank you, lads.
Good on you, boys.
Great initiative from LMS Global to set up that trust. So lots of great work done by Rob and the team. And Steve, I believe, organised those. Oh, that's a great comeback ball there from the Tin Man. Rolled the fingers over it, forced Lydon to adjust. Coming back from the second.
Yeah, he'll get there.
Oh,
took a bail, but got home.
Deceptively quick for the big man.
Exactly. He's always got a wry smirk whenever he's speaking of himself. He bagged his own leggies, but he probably squeezed second 11 in an important juncture of the last game, and he reckons is not what he used to be with the bat. But 37 off 20 in the previous game, and now 26 off 11 in this game would suggest that it's all part of his foxing allure. The Tin Man in, arrowing across. Yes. They'll take the leg by.
That's a good ball from the Tin Man, I think, but also good pressure from Tradies there to get through for that single.
Absolutely.
Yes, those AJ Trust shirts are smashing.
Awesome.
There's been plenty of them around the grounds over the course of the week that I've seen. I know Old Iraq have chosen that as their team uniform now.
So myself and all the other lads got one, wore them proudly.
Yep.
And excellent design.
Oh, lovely ball. Oh, wow.
There goes the castle. So a single off that. They're coming back. Not out.
Not out.
And fair call as well. So the last 10 balls, well, it's actually the last 13 balls, there's only been 1 dot. And I think that's what's keeping Tradies the north side of 9 and over. So that's 14 gone, 3 for 127. And despite a sort of mini collapse, losing Reece Finn for an excellent 42 off 21, and then the big man Dane Seed for 40 off 29. They've held their nerve. Reece McCarthy 12 off 10 has ticked it over. Lido doing what he normally does, 26 off 12. And suddenly, with 30 balls to go, they're already just about at the 130 mark, which was the target score for sides batting first here for the whole 20. So they're in a good spot here.
They certainly are. And I think that, I still think 180 is probably what we're looking at now.
Yeah,
and loose bowling we'll see even possibly a 200, which will make it a very hard chase.
That would make it tough.
Left arm over from Michael Ware, rolls the fingers.
Yeah, Ware back
lovely shot there.
Came up nicely. Yep. Jed McMahon was a proud wearer of the AJ shirt, took an excellent selfie. Handsome mug as well, sent it in. And there's plenty of lads from all around who have gotten in on that. An excellent cause.
Left arm over the wicket again, comes a bit closer to the stumps.
Good bowling.
Oh, lovely bowling there.
Tucked around. I think they thought about it, but no, they'll have to settle for one.
Who's commentating, Jed? Well, I'm Pete Bowman, and he's...
Dane Ruskowski.
There you go. Oh, thank you, Daniel Mabry. Well, you know who I am now.
He's one of my boys from the sunny coast. How you doing, Danny?
Yeah. So Michael Ware has just taken a bit off and then rolling those fingers, very much fingers down the seam. Oh, straight down the ground. Is that gone to Brad? No.
One just short.
Yeah.
Lido has probably that's it for Lido now. He's just going to go. I think that's the right move at this stage.
Well, based on the last game as well, you'd think that Reece is probably champing at the bit to open up as well. So
he's one dirty long hop away from getting going himself. Full.
Oh, there we go.
Did he get it? Oh, he's got
inside out. That's 6. There we go.
Massive.
That's a great shot.
That is.
He didn't play many through the air in that previous game. He was really sort of going along the carpet. But
that is probably one of the shots of the morning or the day.
Inside out
over cover. That's that's 85 metres on the fly.
That's you or me if we're lucky playing the wrong shot.
If that's me, I'm caught at third man. No, not even that far down. I'm caught at fly slip.
Dear.
Definitely.
Welcome to Hussein Hamoud and Andy Levitt that have just joined in watching the commentary.
Wonderful shot. That'll put some pressure right on here. Goes again.
There we go.
Crack.
Just the one out there, deep.
Yeah, out to the man there.
So getting back to why you like the field back and in, walk me through that, mate, because for me, it just seems negative. If you're going to be loose, you're going to go over the boundary anyway.
No, I tend to agree. I tend to agree with you in principle. I don't have the courage. With the team that I play for in Brisbane, we know what we are.
Yeah.
We belong 4 or 5 metres outside the pickets. But I think sides of this standard, they could probably look to do a little bit more from a tactical perspective. A lot of batsmen that get there early in their innings, they like to just tick it around, feel their way to 5 or 5, 6 or 6. And if you can squeeze some dots out of that, the pressure really mounts in an incredibly quick amount of time. Then you might see a rash shot before someone's set and they're gone. I absolutely agree in principle, and if I was a side as good as this, I would probably look to do that.
Oh, well, see, this is what we were talking about before as well. So it's forced a change.
Yep.
Like Brad, I would have thought would have been looking to bowl the 18th and the 20th over, and now he's realised that he has to come on and try and slow these two down, because I think they just start feeding off each other. Both guys in some pretty good touch, 20 and 28 off 14 balls.
They're doing very well.
Adjusted his stance there.
Oh, shot.
Yep, opened it up.
They'll double this.
Oh, good slide.
Stage.
Yeah, knocked it up.
Parried it on a bit, but yeah, no extra damage done.
I like that commitment in the field. Great work there, boys.
I think as soon as they get the whites on, they're more inclined to slide on a surface like this. And once again, we really should reference the fact that the ground staff have done a wonderful job all tournament.
Oh, miss hit. Miss hit.
A single.
Down the ground. So if you want to get involved again, lastmanstands.com online to register.
All the new leagues starting in early January, I'd have thought, roughly around there.
I think some of them cross over the Christmas period. But
the excitement of Big Bash.
Raining in one of my areas in Canberra today. Just punched out. Having an interesting start to the summer down there.
Yeah, we had a couple of weeks in Brisbane that totally washed out, also on the sunny coast in Moreton Bay. It's frustrating because the boys love their cricket, they just want to get on.
Absolutely.
But when you're fielding in a canoe down at Fine Lake, it's just not going to work, is it?
Oh, that's a great ball. I mean,
is.
He's really tried to heave that over and he just squeezed it out through back of square there.
Reece getting dirty there. BMAC concedes just 5 off that over. He's probably a little flustered that he had to bring him, not flustered, frustrated that he had to bring himself on ahead of the death, but he did, and immediately a positive result. The run rate dipping under 9 for the first time in a long time now with that tight over from the BMAC. The tin machine is on now. 1 for 23 off 3. It's been spicy. He's changed it up. He's drawn back on length. He's varied his pace. He's sent some batsmen off, and it's going to be a fiery second half of the match. I'm sure it'll all be in good fun, but both sides playing for a lot here. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all come to.
Big score on this wicket, Richie Granger. Yeah, well, we think 140's par, but then the last game we saw, quite a bit higher than that. Got to say the outfield is electric.
Yeah, wonderful.
The pitch is playing fairly true. Tin Man coming in again. Got nice and close to the stumps there.
Yeah, he's just mixing up where he delivers from, and it ultimately alters things. He's wily. You can tell early on that whatever he lacks in pace, he'll make up in variety and nous. Just making a small adjustment at backward of square there. We've got a man at 45 and he's 3/4 of the way to the fence. The man at third man is very straight. Lido shuffling across.
Oh, inside out. That's going to be safe, I think.
Fall short, and they'll be doubling that for sure. The ball spins off the turf after landing and guarantees safety for that too. Lido charges on now.
So Dave Hancock there was supposed to be up here with NCT 8, but unfortunately was injured. He's just told us that he's almost back to full and he's looking forward to the IPL-style LMS draft.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. Good to hear you're on the way back to health, bud.
Oh!
Dirty boy. Lido.
Got down there, couldn't get back up again. That was me after yesterday's game. Oh, boy. But yes, Dave Hancock will be a handy pickup to anyone who wants him. Very quick. He might be Newcastle's version of White Lightning, I think, at the moment. We've claimed him. Coming in again, nice and close to the stumps. Oh,
Didn't
stump,
get it,
stump.
but that might go.
No, big gap there, mate.
Huge gap.
Big gap.
Yeah, he got it. He definitely got it. Apologies, Lydon. Good shot. He's just shuffling across ever so slightly. The Tin Man has found a line. He's very metronomical. But with Lido changing his stance, it can be a bit unsettling.
The problem with it that you've got, of course, with Lydon is that if you choose to come wider of the crease, he's just going to walk at you and try and put you through the offside as well.
Exactly. He's got plenty of shots at his disposal.
Some would say too many sometimes when he starts fiddling with ramp shots, but coming in, and he's gone wider. Yeah.
Slower ball.
And there's...
Hit well. Yeah. Don't think there'll be a chance for a double.
I have to say, I mean, Lydon's really he's packaging up a good innings here, but you can't say that he's actually been middling the ball that well.
No, and I suppose that's the class of the man. Even when he's not on top form, he's 36 off 19 on a big ground, on a fourth day wicket that is playing very true, probably the truest fourth day wicket I've seen at the Runway Bay in any of these instalments of the Nationals here. Once again, the ground staff do a wonderful job and they just keep getting better and better.
So Lydon's just turned around to have another chat with Reece there. I've got a feeling that
it's time.
Lydon's decided, with so many wickets in the bank.
Yeah, only 3 overs left now.
He kind of, I think that's it. So Michael Ware.
He'll be targeted here.
Yeah. Oh, well.
They'll probably...
Do you know what's interesting there is I think that was going to be a wide. And you're kind of forcing him to play. Just took it the other way.
So 151, 14 legal deliveries left. 2 a ball, that puts you to 179. It's big.
Oh,
round the corner.
There we go.
Oh, that's safe, and that'll be 4.
That's the sort of abandon that Reece was swinging with in the
that's
first
right.
game.
And I think he's made his mind up now as well.
Yeah, so I think that what we saw, of course, from him, he got a lot of balls outside off stump and was able to free the arms. But I think that's set the tone now. I think it'll be a race to the end between these two guys. And I obviously, with the confidence in each other, that it doesn't really matter who's on strike to do it.
Precisely. Reese moves along now to 29 off 19. His strike rate over 150 for
Michael
the first
Ware
time.
again, wider on the crease this time.
That's big.
That is gone.
It's huge. And that's the kind of shot that might just see some heads and shoulders drop ever so slightly from the Menties, because that puts Tradies into the 160s now, and there's still 12 legals left.
Well, we sort of were indicating 180, and I think,
You'd be devastated if you didn't get there now.
I think the thing for Michael here, because I don't think the length is so much of the issue here. I think it's where he's planting the ball to a left. He's a right-hander.
I'd be jamming it outside off as far as possible.
Absolutely, push it right across him. Oh,
gave himself every chance of going again there, but one leg by, he'll take that.
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden, Reese McCarthy is 35 off 21 now.
Yeah.
Lido 37 off 20, which is exactly what he got last match.
So with last ball of the over, I would suggest to you Lydon is walking straight down the middle of the wicket.
Yeah, he's looking at sight screen this one, I reckon.
He's moved across, shuffled across.
Oh, he went for it. Just a single.
See again, no, just a little bit off on his timing.
Yeah, he's not quite there. And I mean, the fact that he's 38 off 21 and he's not quite middled as many as he'd have liked yet is worrying stuff for the opposition. The end of Weir's spell, 1 for 41 off 4. Took a key wicket, went a bit of a journey there though. And we've got one over left, presumably from Vivek, and one from Brad. I'd say Brad will be the absolute last.
So
He's
Vivek coming on. I think that's probably the smart move at the moment. I think Vivek's just struggled a little bit with his line today. Definitely.
More than he did in game 1, and certainly more than yesterday. So let's go through the figures just quickly. Daniel Dent, 1 for 31 off 4. Sean Lawrence, 1 for 32 off 4. Vivek has 1 over left, and he's none for 32 off 3. Michael Weir, 1 for 41 off 4. Brad McGrath, none for 24 off 3. And batting wise, Dane Seed opened up, 40 off 29. Jordan Rennell, 5 off 5. Reece Finn, 42 off 21. And these boys at the crease now, you can see their scores on screen.
So wide of the crease, inside
Didn't
out.
get it.
Is that out?
And
good catch.
Is out.
Great catch. Going for the
Steals
double
on.
play.
Oh, fumble. So a steal and a wicket. Lido departs for
38 off.
38 off 22. Another great contribution.
But we knew that was going to have to happen. I mean, and so plenty in the tank. More coming. Is it Jez coming out now, I think, as well. Jeremy opened up with a boundary, I'm pretty sure, in the last game.
He did, creamed it.
Obviously, they have confidence in their lineup.
This is, I mean, honestly, this is a big score already. Enjoy the Ment will be stoked with that wicket. A fresh batsman at the crease always changes things a little. But Jezza, he did indeed open with a boundary last innings.
Oh dear. Jez is coming up. Now, interestingly, Vivek went really wide of the crease on that one. Trying to sort of get the batsman. I wonder if he'll go with that for this one as well. Yep, again wide, but in. Oh, that'll be thrown to the other end. Wow.
Vivek just fumbling a little bit at the moment.
I wonder whether Danny should have tried for this end to pick off Reece rather than a new batsman. But
yeah, interesting. So 164 on the board, 8 legal balls left, so 2 a ball gets him to exactly 180, which you'd be taking that if you're off at the start.
Any day of the week.
Any day of the week, yeah.
That's
out,
massive. That's on the bus. Oh, it's over the bus. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, put your hands together for that, ladies and gentlemen. That is massive.
That is one of the cleanest hits of the day, if not the tournament. Over the bus, over the vocal NZ boys.
That's in top 5 sixes of the tournament, I think.
Mate, that was severe. So Reece McCarthy, now 41 off 22, moved through the gears so quickly here. He was 25 off 18, 16 off his last 4 balls. And that kind of batting at this juncture
on the replay,
such a big match.
Wow,
is
players scattering down there. Well done, Lydon Gibbons from Toledo Gibbons.
Absolutely.
And go Daniel Dent from Maria Dent. So that's great.
Lots of support for both teams. Have they called for a new ball? I think they might have. Even if they find that one, it might have some...
I think it might be on the netball courts down the road.
Yeah, that was a clean strike.
Wow. That's the moment when I'm glad I don't bowl much.
Oh, mate. There's nothing like going for one like that.
Oh, dear.
You know, this is a man who got 1 for 25 or 4 in a tenth's first game against a quality opponent, 5 for yesterday. Suddenly he's 1 for 38 off 3.3, and he's been hit many a mile.
I think the tough thing is, and this is the real test of this tournament, like we played 6 games, and in our final game we were spent. Beaten by better opposition with better fitness and these sort of things. Now, you talk about that, these guys are now playing 8 and, is it 8 or 9 games?
Yeah, we're getting up, certainly.
Over a really short period of time. And I think cricket's one of those games that's deceptively taxing.
Especially LMS. The extra 3 players, you really miss them at certain. I think it's fantastic, but you notice them in the field especially. Okay, so 2 left in the second last over of the innings.
Going again.
Arrowing in.
That's a great ball from Vivek.
Took a lot of speed off that one.
Yeah, brave as well, I think, because, you've just been dispatched over the boundary. New ball in your hand, go again,
Well run 2 there.
Yep.
I mean, he's bowled an absolute jaffa there and he still concedes 2. So he's into the 40s, Vivek. 1 for 40, 1 ball left in his 4th.
Reece McCarthy also 43.
Excellent innings this. Did he get it?
He's gone the other way.
That could be tough stopping.
Did he get it?
No.
Oh, unlucky, mate. That's a fantastic area.
Almost got it.
Yeah.
But he ends up parrying it for 4.
Got horizontal to try and stop it.
Desperation in the field. He just dragged it into himself and it kicked off. So Vivek finishes with 1 for 44 off 4. Reece moves to 47 off 24. And as I said a moment ago, his last 6 balls have seen 22 runs scored. So huge movements here by the tradies. Enjoy the Ment. Have been wonderful all tournament. And this man, I think someone remarked that he'd taken man of the match in all but one of the games prior to this one, which is superb when we're talking 6, 7 or 8 games. He's been a huge contributor. And we saw why as recently as last game, 3 for 10. And
scored so many runs in Sydney competitions and certainly one of the stalwarts of their comp.
Been there and done it all.
Oh, look out. That's gone straight up.
Got it.
I won't say that that's the best ball that he's ever bowled. And I think that look will say the same thing.
Yeah.
He has thrown that at his toes. And Jess has gone after it and missed it. But you'll take it. I'll take those wickets any day of the week,
mate.
Brad. That's awesome, mate. Oh, dear.
So Jezza departs without troubling the scorers. He only faced 2 balls. Did right by his team. Selfless stuff. And if that came off, it was going to be 4 or 6.
It certainly was.
So we're looking 176, 4 balls left. Ronnie Corbett, his job will be to get...
Off strike.
Exactly. Put Reece back on.
So that was a little bit tired there from Brad, I think.
Yeah. I think he barely got it down there.
Come on, Corby from Macaturna.
In again.
Oh!
And this is what he did last game. Just ... galore in the last over.
Half-trackers do get wickets, Damon. I think that's a different interpretation of one of the ones I've heard, but yes. But the big guy is, big broad shoulders. He's been doing the job for the team.
He's not steaming back to his mark, but I can't blame him. But he's bowling very well here, curtailing it a little bit.
Oh.
Contact. They probably can double up, but they probably choose not to. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Ronnie's coming back, sent back.
No chance.
No thanks, mate. I'll have the chance. Thank you.
So 2 balls left, 177 on the board. The interesting thing will be if McCarthy gets hold of this one to the pickets or over, he retires and there's a freshie on strike for the very last ball. Where's he going to go here? B-Mac in.
Full.
On the hips.
Caught.
Pings it around the corner. Drops, plugged the knee.
Ouch.
Probably perfect result, 2, and still no retirement. The B-Mac might have had 2 for 25 there.
Wow. Boy, he hit the deck hard.
Yeah,
then.
he did. An awkward angle too. Always worry when you see a knee plug. Thankfully, the surface is in tip-top shape. No bog there.
Final ball, home run ball here in the LMS format. So hits this for 6 and it's worth 12, and that would take them through to a staggering 191.
We're already getting very high into the scores here. We haven't seen many this high this tournament on this field. It's got it.
It's got it.
That's
Has he got it? Has he got it?
That's a homer, all right.
It's go. Oh, he's caught it out there in the boundary too, one-handed. Oh, what a catch in the ground.
Wow.
Great work there. What a finish.
So Reece McCarthy walks away with 61 off 26.
Wow, what an innings.
His last 18 balls, I think he scored 36 runs. Sorry, his last 8 balls, 36 runs. Incredible.
I feel a bit sorry for Brad there because,
unjust.
Absolutely.
A dropped catch by his fielder at square, albeit a tough one. Could have been 2 for.
Yep.
And then, bang, Reece McCarthy had threatened to do that all innings and he really turned it on at the end. 191 on the board. That will be a monumental chase.
Absolutely. I think that, listen, we've seen stranger things in LMS.
Sure, certainly have. It's not over yet, definitely not.
You and I both don't know enough about this Enjoy the Ment side to know how far the depth is. They have taken out some massive sides this tournament.
They certainly have.
They're well deserving of their spot in the final. And listen, they're here. They're the only ones that can give it a crack. So
that's right.
I think that, 191 really above. That's well above par.
Oh mate, it's 40 or 50 above par. But as you see, Lido and Reece, they just held in during a period where a couple of quick ones fell, and I mean they still played extremely positively, but they ended up turning that into a really good partnership, and then Reece just kept moving through the gears there. Was 25 off 18 looking good, and to finish 61 off 26, incredible.
Going down the scoreboard there, Dane Seed 40 from 29, bowled by Lawrence. Jordan Trigger-Renau went early, and I think at that point, Jordan Ment flicked it over to the next screen. But they certainly were. They thought they were really on top there. Pardon me. We've gone to the bowling figures there now. 1 to Brad McGrath, 1 to Michael Ware, 1 to Vivek Nandagam, Sean Lawrence 1, Daniel Paul Dent 1. So listen, those figures aren't bad. No. I'm looking at that, but you're in a final. 191's a big chase.
All 5 bowlers took a wicket.
Yep.
However, all 5 bowlers conceded at least 31 and up to 44. So they're good. They're good minimum numbers by the tradies. They targeted everyone almost equally there, and plenty of starts. 40 off 29, 42 off 21 for Reece Finn. That was 40 off 29 by Dane Seed. 61 from Reece McCarthy off just 26 balls with a home run, really capping off a beautiful innings. Lido 38 off 22 after 37 off 20 in the previous match, and some excellent batting.
Now we'll join you in just a few moments. We'll just check out for a sec just to get the some water, and we'll be back online here for this second innings of the 2008 Australian Championships here from Runaway Bay.
Yeah, don't miss it. It's going to be a hell of a chase. Yeah, that'll make some interesting good body language. I think they're the kind of lads that their chats won't be too intensive. I reckon they'll just be general stuff. Still quite light. Enjoy the Ment will know that this is
191 is about 82 minutes.
who said that. People get passionate on the chat.
I'm amazed at how much when you take the earphones off, it feels like you depressurize.
Cools down a little bit here.
So welcome back here to the second innings of the Last Man Stands Australia Championships for 2018. Live from the beautiful Runaway Bay Cricket Club. I'm Peter Bowman and I'm with Dane Rizkowski.
G'day, g'day. Hello everyone. And a big chase ahead here. This will Enjoy the Ment have sort of rode the slipstream all tournament. They weren't well known even up until yesterday, and they weren't even expected to win this morning, but here they are in the final with every chance of winning. However, 192 as a total to gun down against this lineup would be their biggest feat yet.
I'm calling it upset of LMS ever.
I would have to say so now.
And I mean that with the greatest respect to the guys from Enjoy the Ment, but 192 in a final is massive.
Especially on big dimensions. These are the local boys. They know this ground, every blade of it. Not to get too poetic, but they know it well. And we've seen all tournament that 140 is generally sort of enough. 50 beyond that.
Absolutely. I think we agree that par was 130 or 140 on this ground. We've gone way past that.
We're so far.
You know, with the skill of Trav Harker,
Yep.
who coming on to open the bowling again, left arm round the wicket again, keeping that ball shin height again. Yeah. I'm struggling to see how the boys are going to get an electric start.
100%.
Oh, but no,
almost into the action, just sliding down.
Oh, that is what I would call an ambitious call, Travis.
He's never not going to ask.
Round the wicket, into the legs, down leg side.
He's a very good little operator here. I think the best spinner I've seen in LMS. Just consistent. I've never seen him go for runs. Always takes wickets. Here he comes again.
Little skip in, left arm round. Yep.
Well bowled.
Now for one, they're going to have to push back for the. Vivek, you can't just wander through on those, mate. You're chasing 192.
Yeah, no, every run's precious now.
Absolutely. Bevan Jenkinson, first time in history Tradies have ever turned up when they said they have. New Zealand LMS commentator. Oh dear. I hope he's not referring to me as the New Zealand LMS commentator. I just live there. I'm the Australian living abroad. Flick that round the back there.
Yeah,
It's not going to go to the boundary, but they're going to have to run the three out. Big run from Jordan Renault here.
Trigger. He'd be feeling 4 days worth of cricket and
Absolutely.
about 4 hours sleep across those days there. But chased it down. 3 to the total though.
Yes, no. For those of my friends that are out there, I have moved across the ditch to the beautiful Palmerston North, taking up a job with the Manawatu Cricket Association, looking after some junior cricket there. Looking forward to getting home to the family and them next week. But it's been a wonderful week of cricket here so far.
Fantastic. Travie in again, full this time. Punched away, but you gotta. I think even at this early stage of the chase, you got to put that to pasture.
Absolutely, and I think that's showing a little bit of that sort of that weariness over a week of into your 8th or 9th game over the course of 4 days or 5 days. Great bowling though from Trav, as you see, knows every blade of grass here.
Getting closer.
Wow! I think that might have caught him in. Yes, maybe no. Big swing. That's the end of the over.
So he's done it again, kept it dark, none for 5, straight up, and already the rate pushes up ever so higher. A couple of lads on my friends list watching. James Kane, who's had a wonderful tournament. Shannon Ford, and of course Keith Vogel. Sorry not to see you here this year, Keith, mate. Always good to see you.
Well, Bevan, we'll have to catch up, mate. I've seen Bevan Jenkins saying he does the commentary on that side of the ditch. I do remember your wonderful commentary from Auckland, mate. Oh,
The big
top edge.
Charges in.
Coming down our way. That might be yours, Dane.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Slowing up.
Well done.
Wow. Great fielding there by the elder statesman of the team, Jeremy.
Vivek seems to be struggling to find that extra gear between the wickets. Danny Batra pushing him hard, shouting, come on, come on. Vivek unable to get back for the third. We remarked earlier we'd wonder if we'd see Dane bend the back a little bit more here after the send-off. Good ball.
Oh,
nice
lovely shot.
That's into
Square
the gap.
of the wicket.
Take some chasing.
Oh, these two
Yeah.
commentators love that. Love it.
Beautiful shot. So a bit of extra width there, and that'll be 4.
Yeah, I don't know that he has bent the back, but
No.
he's certainly coming wide of the crease there.
I think he'll reserve that.
And again, that you can't stress enough just how much the weariness is going to set in here, particularly for some of these bigger, faster bowlers.
Yep. He's already made a stack of
Oh,
runs
roll the
today as
fingers over there, he has to. Coming back.
So a little bit busier this over. 7 off the first 3. They're going to have to basically do that from now until the end of the match, though. The required rate.
Oh, there we go.
9.7 into the
missed
slot. Didn't get it.
Just punched it out there too long on. So Danny Batra here, more than capable batsman.
Brilliant batsman.
Ranked 10 in the world.
Good.
Has played 181 games of LMS and scored 7,817 runs at a batting average of 107.
That's
So,
absolutely.
oh goodness me,
Cursed him.
I have cursed him.
Chopped it.
Sorry, Danny. But
Reasonably inconspicuous delivery there, and he just chopped.
wow, sorry, Danny. That, but you back that up. He's also bowling averages 22.5.
Ridiculous.
Seriously,
He's
what
playing at a high standard as well.
I think that, Legend of Sydney LMS, and certainly a wonderful ambassador for LMS around the country.
Splendid.
But that is the first wicket for Tradies.
Indeed, Dane Seed was going for a few there and then just dragged it on.
Now, one of the things that we saw in that semi-final, though, was that second 11 lost a few wickets early, then really, built a platform from the middle and set that up. And so, I think that there's still opportunities here for the Enjoy the Ment boys.
Oh, definitely. That's only one down. So still plenty to play for. 1 for 14 off 2. Required rate already to 9.9. And when you're looking at Travi Harker about to send down his second over, always a worry. Hard to get away. And once that rate goes above 10, and it's very hard to get it back under. That's 2 a ball at LMS because of the 5 ball overs. Stabs one in. Vivek signals intent, swats it out to mid-wicket. Good coverage down there, but that's
good wheels too.
2.
Oh, could be the third. No,
They're not going to take
backing that up well out there.
Yep, indeed. Did just enough.
So Gus Sloan, I don't know much about Gus, so I'm just going to bring up his profile and hope that I don't commentators curse him as well.
Well,
So-
indeed, he's got a few fans on the chat already.
He's got a batting ranking of 45 in the world.
Good lord. Oh, that's close.
That ball's not going to go either. There's another big run.
Yeah, they're going to have to come back for 3.
Big run from the elder statesman there, Jeremy.
Yep,
Great arm, Jez.
very good fielding.
So Gus Sloan, 4,800 runs at 69.
My God. There's some incredible players in this lineup.
What I'm amazed at here is how this group of guys have come into
Snuck
this
under the
tournament
radar somehow.
and no one knew who they were, sort of thing. And there's a lot of batting in here. So
I was talking to Gus before. He seemed very excited at the prospect of taking this one out. He's here to win this, that's for sure.
Travis Harker coming in round.
Oh, jabbing it in there.
Geez, he's bowling well.
He is.
I mean,
It's just so typical of him. Gus Sloan, yeah, he batted very well in the previous match as well. We were very impressed. He hit 5 boundaries at a crucial stage where the rate required and the rate that they were going at was basically neck and neck. He just took it down, took the pressure off his other batsman. Made 38 off 25, I think, in a game where the average strike rate was around the sort of 120 mark. Those extra 30 points matter a lot.
So just having a look at Travis Harker's details here as well. He's
Insane.
229 matches of LMS.
Oh, done him.
It's bowled him. Well,
that's what he does.
He's taken, according to his profile, which hasn't obviously updated, heading into this match, or today's matches, he'd scored taken 262 wickets at 16.8.
Yep, it's ridiculous. Like, honestly, the best spinner in Australia. What's his economy?
I can't see that, mate. Unfortunately,
I think it's under 6. It's ridiculous.
Let me have a look and see if I can see it.
He's incredible. Just drops it on a penny all day, every day. Scored a few runs as well, but he's in a lineup stacked like the tradies are. He's not
5.9.
Ridiculous. This is what I mean. He's a spinner going in a comp as strong as the Goldie, and playing such high-end games as these. He's kept it under 6. It's just insane. Yeah, well bowled that. So
I'm just having a look down the list there, and I noticed one of my old umpires who lives in Adelaide now, Danushka, still in the top 10, with an economy rate of 4.35.
Goodness me.
I don't think he's played for some time now, though, but wow.
That's insane.
It is insane, isn't it? It's just
That's
crazy.
87 runs per 100 balls. That's incredible. So Vivek departs, bowled by Harker for 6 off 7, bringing Brad McGrath to the crease. A lot rests on these giant shoulders.
Sure does. One of the nicest blokes in LMS as well.
Lovely
seriously.
bloke. Had a chat to him earlier.
Doesn't have a bad word to say about anyone. Takes a lot to ruffle him.
Good ball. And this is the problem, because Travis Harker, people say, oh, just see him out. But when you're chasing 9.6 and over and you see him out for his 4 overs for 20, that leaves you needing 172 off the next 16, which is 10.75. You're in trouble there.
And it's not like he can go after Dane either.
Well, exactly. They bowl, they couldn't be more different.
One bloke's 5'4" and bowling shin high, and then the other bloke's 6'4" or 6'4" actually. From here, I think he might even be 6'5", but he's sort of doing the same stuff.
Delivering from about 9 foot.
Yeah.
And he's angling in some sort of lopey mediums. I'm sure he can crank it up if needed, but at the moment he's bowling the right pace for the deck. Lovely bowling.
They're talking about ramping it up.
Yeah, that one had a little bit more on it.
And they've just brought up Brad McGrath's record as well. 8,000 runs at 58 and 230 wickets at 21. So, again, they've got the batting line up here that could chase this total. It's just going to be able to take the opportunities. And that's a wide.
That's well spread.
I think the problem here, though, is where they're going to fall into the trap of thinking that they've got to go over the top again. I think what they need to do here is just start turning the ball over, turn the strike over, get some singles, 1s and 2s, if they can, and then take that confidence of that to then start to play a little bit more expansively. Oh,
good ball.
Just played that down. That'll be a big run there for Jez. A lot of work down here at third man.
He's done well down there all day.
Yep. Well done there, Jezza. Oh, wide ball. Good movement there from Jordan.
And this is, I suppose, the culmination of 4 big days of cricket. Because he's been on a length all day. Just showing a little bit of weariness here. Albeit.
Wider of the crease again. Oh, that's down leg. Brad walking a bit, trying to move it across.
Yeah, it's getting dire a little bit. So enjoy the Ment 2 for 25 off 3.4. One to come. Wide again, and that will be called.
That'll be 3.
I think Dane might be due a spell there. He has one for 16 off 2. But he's just losing his radar a little bit there. 2 for 28 off 4. Need 164 off the next 16, so 10 and some change and over to win it. That's a tough task for 16 straight overs, especially when you've got plenty of quality bowling to come. Travis Harker doing his usual stuff here, 1 for 8 off 2, and enjoy the Ment. A couple of early wickets. They've got pure class at the crease at the moment. So
what do you tell your batting partner to do here against Trav?
Honestly,
come across the wicket and try something a bit different, or?
Well, see, somehow you've got to upset his length and line. You've got to somehow put him off his game, and he's very unruffled at the best of times. He just knows his game inside out, and you saw his stats. He bowls at 16 runs a wicket at under 6 and 0. It's just insane. You have to take risks, I suppose.
But see, that playing him from the crease, I don't think that's what's going to achieve it.
It's going to have to be footwork.
Yeah, footwork to the ball, or adjust where you're standing.
Yeah.
Possibly, take a guard slightly outside off.
Yeah.
I mean, you run the risk, of course, then of him shooting one down through your leg stump. But
you do. But I mean, if you stand still and just milk him for
absolutely
4, 5 and over,
I'd be thinking of trying to block what Jordan can see. Try and push something out there, and then try and pick up 4 or 5 off him.
Yeah,
I'm saying that it's easier said than done.
It is. But you're right, though. I mean, something needs to give here for the Ment boys.
Yes.
Because
that's coming from me, who used my feet to a ball this week and put it off my stomach onto the stump. So that one goes out to Daz Collis, actually. He loves hearing about my dismissals.
Yeah, you're thinking at this stage they need at least 1 boundary and over, and realistically closer to 2.
Yeah. I think what they need is 2 or 3 big overs. And listen, if they're going to adopt the tactic, now that's a really good work there. Stepped away a little bit, just pushed it the other way.
Yeah.
I think if they're going to try and just see Trav out, then they really are going to have to start going after someone like Dane. And then potentially just start to try and attack everything else. And I don't think they've got the time to wait around
no.
in this particular... Well, not chasing 190.
No, the rate's just going up and up at the moment.
Oh,
Bowling.
a little bit upish. Well in behind. Another lovely over there from Travis Harker.
Just the 3 from him. So 1 for 11 off 3 for him. And, that's good at any stage of any T20. But in a match where the opponent needs 9.6 and over...
Well, it's snuck up to 10.7 now.
Exactly.
And I think... we've talked about this in the last game where... And this is me not knowing, I think, enough about the Enjoy the Ment boys. I mean, we saw with the second 11, we sort of said anything up to about 11, and you're going, okay. If I apply that same logic here, I think they're almost at 11 a lot earlier than what we were seeing before.
Yeah, we were saying somewhere around the 13 mark. 13 gone. We're only 5 in.
Yeah.
Okay, Reece Finn.
Now based on the way Reece started before,
they'll have to attack.
Yeah, they've got to.
Got it?
Yep, good work.
That'll be 4.
Yep, great work there, boys. That's the way. And that's really positive, I think, because I think Reece bowled with just a little bit of nerve in those first couple of overs last time.
Definitely. Took a moment. Yeah, he came back strong, batted brilliantly. Certainly not, neither of us are questioning his ability, but, compared to Trav Harker, he's not perhaps dropping it on the same string. It's a great shot. Need more of that, lots more of that. Goes again. This one will find Dane down there.
But see, you're probably going to need to turn that into a potential 2, though.
Well, exactly. And I mean, he's got a solid arm on him. Going to need to find those gaps.
Jed McMahon, I did call Jezza the elder statesman deliberately because I know he's younger than me. Crystal McGrath says Brad is sexy. Crystal, come on. It's a family show. I think that... aggression's the key here. Across the line, gone. Yeah, he wanted across the line. I think unless he got some bat on that, I think I'm not unhappy with the decision. I don't think, but we saw one before where the batsman thought he might have hit it, but wandering across. Shantanu ticking in for this coverage now as well.
Yeah, indeed he is. Had a great tournament. Went down today.
Absolutely, as I
Another
said.
successful campaign for the second 11 though.
Bowled beautifully yesterday. Certainly bowled different lines today on the turf, but made a fantastic comeback in his other overs.
Definitely did.
Final over particularly.
Wonderful. 2 for 2 off that.
Yep.
Reece Finn strikes with his 4th ball into his first over. Has 1 for 5 or 4 after being cracked for 4 off his first. Brad McGrath, a huge wicket, and he's out LB for 7 off 8. So I mean, 3 for 36 off 5.4. Something special needed now for the Menties, who have had an absolutely fantastic tournament.
It's been a sensational tournament.
Regardless here.
You're going. Well, I'm not going to go down that line just yet. I mean, there's plenty of time left in them for them to chase down this total. It's going to be a big ask. I think there's no question about that.
Yep.
And if they can, seriously, that'll be one of the biggest victories I've seen in LMS if they can pull this off. You're not going to do it with dot balls though.
No, it's a cider for Harry Reece.
June Sharple says Tradies have it in the bag. Yeah. I think there'll certainly be some bookies won't be taking bets on this one anymore.
Yeah, probably close the books.
Christian Dennis says, no way, June. That's what we like to see, Christian. Get behind your team, mate. But yeah, I think both of these batsmen now, they've got to have a chat and say, right, how are we going to pick it off?
Yeah, it's tough.
We can't just stand and swing and miss. We have to be accumulating runs. We have to start to build a base that's going to give us something to launch from, and then figure out when that launch is. But launching this man might be, yes. That's an old man's bluff tactics. I have a friend of mine in Canberra, Peter Dradrak, that says that to bowlers every time he comes on. Oh, I'm just getting old, and then takes 3 for.
Well, exactly. And
That's it. Great lead, boys. Turning that into 2. That's it. That's what I want to see out of these boys. Yeah. Great dive. Yes, lovely. Put my hands together for that one. It's not going to be easy to run those 2s like that, but...
No, you're going to have to do it a lot. Just a slight chair adjustment here.
We're running out of shade room here underneath the tent. I'll grab that for you, mate.
Thank you.
How did Richie do this in the commentary box?
Indeed.
He probably had some.
Good lad too.
That's it.
Gets it straight.
Ground.
Just took the pace off it a little, Reece. So
misfield down there, coming back for 2.
Yep, indeed. I think he wanted that a little straighter, but the rolling of the fingers means he sort of had to miscue it down to long off.
So I think he's going to... Oh, it's a wide ball.
Called a wide, yep. Looks about right.
I have to say, though, a little bit more footwork there, and he might have got that one away.
Yeah, indeed.
But they're bowling in really good lines here, Ben, because if you're going to bowl that wide out, what choices have you got is to do that and hit it straight to that fielder there.
They've set their men behind, or either square of point or even down third man weight extremely well.
Yep.
So not a lot of boundaries down there, despite how well they are timing it to those men.
The Langboken Hoot from Canberra says that that dive from Trav was a no more energy dive.
Yeah, the tank is getting low on fuel for Travi. He's certainly done his job.
He says he loves Jordan's dance moves. It'll be a dance off between Jordan and Lydon later this evening, I would think.
Will indeed. They don't seem to stop those boys.
No.
Both pillars of the team and legends of the game. Very well known and very well loved around here, as are most of the tradies. No, all of them, of course. And enjoy the Ment monumental requirement here. That'll be wide though.
Wide, that's it. 3 for that over. So yeah, so a few more reminders here, like of what's coming up in LMS. So we've got the LMS Super Series starting in 2019 in Sydney, a 6-team IPL style franchise system.
Cannot wait.
There's about 180, I think, players from around the regions included, which I think run from Port Macquarie this time through until to Wollongong.
Fantastic.
So those sort of those areas for LMS through there across 6 teams. It's going to be over the Australia Day long weekend, so just over 2 days. It'll be a power-packed best of the LMS sort of out there.
Absolutely. Short and sweet's the way, as with everything LMS.
Yeah, the future. I believe we will see other Super Series in other areas, so stay tuned for that. But it's going to be cracking. It'll be live streamed, so we'll see some of the best LMS players in Australia in the same teams, which will be awesome.
Bowling change.
Right. Wow.
This is Jeremy Jezza Warren.
Yeah.
So bowling some tweakers. They'll honestly, it's time to go. They'll have to target him. It's just simply, it's time. 140 from 59. You don't want to let that lag for too long. It's well over 2 a ball now.
So, Jed McMahon, that'll be news to follow in other areas is what we can tell you about Super Series. We get the first one out of the way first, and then we'll see how that goes. Beautiful running there. Slipped over just as he was coming through. Gets the 2. Then followed by that National Championships, we're happy to announce that they will be here at the Runaway Bay Cricket Club again in 2019 with a slight move to September to allow for the World Championships in Sydney in December, in the second week of December. Beautifully flicked off the pads there.
Big year for LMS in Oz.
Massive year. And obviously we've got all of our new summer leagues starting up again, the other side of the new year. So
that's right.
Get in contact with your local LMS area, lastmanstands.com. Click the register button. All those details for your particular area you'll be able to find under there. Down the ground. That's it. That's what we want to see. Great shot there. Probably only a 4 there, I think.
Yeah, 1 or 2 bounces. He got it well enough.
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
But yeah, they need a heck of a lot more of those. 3 for 59 off 8.4 now.
Well, mate, if you look at it, I mean, we're still under 12 and over.
Under 12.
So you and I, have our opinion from our experience with LMS, but they're still within those regions. So if Tradies let this slip a little bit in the middle here, I mean,
that's right.
Then they're right back on target. Oh, and
One
again,
big
moves
over
the feet.
of 20, 22.
And certainly, if they're going to keep running in the field like that, that's when mistakes are going to start to be made by the Tradies.
So at the end of that over, 10 from it. Still slightly under rate, but a move in the right direction, that's for sure. And more importantly, Gus Sloan now 26 off 20. He's underway. And Harry Reese 9 not out off 6. So they're staying busy, but a swift gear change required here.
Yeah, and I think one of those has to be from Gus. I mean, you've had 25 overs out there now, or 5 overs you've faced. You probably need to get a little bit more aggressive now. Yes, you need to get to your 50 if you can, and let some other guys come in. But both batsmen really need to sort of just stay positive and push these runs along. So
absolutely, Lydon Gibbons. So this will be electric one way or another.
Well, I would have said before the last game, this is the guy to go after, but he bowled brilliantly.
It did indeed. On a length again.
Yes.
They'll work him out to mid-wicket. Will they double up? They have to, really.
Probably
they'll do it easy.
Yeah, probably a little bit quicker through the air, I think, than last game.
And pushed it through a little bit.
At the run-up, I thought he might have been bowling seam up again there for a second. But, probably needs to take a few revs off that, I think, and then still play that same line.
Well, that's right. And the breeze has died down, so it won't be as much, as I say that, it creeps back in. Because we'll swap ends after this over. Breaks it away. He's got a good wrong-un on him. It's not unpickable, but it turns and he lands it. And I think picking it's only half the battle, especially at LMS, and especially when you're needing sort of 2.4 a ball. Knowing what it is only sort of half of it. Breaks it in, shortens the length a little bit. And beautiful. And a dot ball.
It was really more an arm ball than anything else, that one.
He pushed it through. So just 3 off his first 3 balls. Tidy as usual. It's very good innovation, this. Oh, he got that one, though. That's massive.
See ya. That's the way. That's what we want to see. But again, I think, if he takes some pace off that and just lets it fly up there like he did against second 11, I mean, I think part of the reason why he got Marty was the fact that it just, came through and flied.
It hung in the air a little.
And Mart's really good at being able to adjust on those sort of things.
Definitely.
So,
that's a prize skill, that one.
Absolutely.
So it goes for some distance there. Harry moves to 15 off 8. Menties will be hoping that that's the shot that really kicks things into gear here. Punch down to long on for a single to finish the over. 10 more from it. Again, 10 each off the last 2 overs, but crazily enough, that's actually pushing the required rate up and up.
Yeah.
That's where we're at in this fixture.
So we've snuck over that not so magical 12 mark.
Yeah, that's right. The Menties are going to need something here. A 20. Well, 21 off this over brings it back to 11.1, and even then that's a stretch. But,
now again, if you had Nandagam, Batra and McGrath still in, and we were talking about 12...
Very different tale.
Different story.
So swapping ends now. So one thing for the Menties is that they are now hitting with the wind, which is coming and going, which enables those sort of illustrious strokes down the ground, a little extra carry. So if you only get 85% of it, it might well clear the pickets and the fielder and go all the way.
Now we'll just apologise ahead of time if you can't pick up the commentary from us, is because Lydon Gibbons is coming to stand in front of us in the commentary position, so that might be all you'll hear in the microphones. But
some field adjustments here.
There's a little bit of dissension from the players there for Lydon. I think he probably needs to control his players. Swatted across the line.
Yeah, as you can see, with the spinner on, there's no man behind square. You got Travis Harker at a dead 90, all the way on the pickets. Then Dane out at cow. And then young Reese at a long on. Lido very straight at long off. Then a deep extra cover on the fence and a slightly backward point on the fence.
I think for this guy, you really need to...
bowling into the gap.
Yeah, but there's two guys out there covering that, though. But yes, you're right. They've got to come back for the two. They really need to be staying at that 10 and over, and then then picking up, a bigger over or two or three.
Really, something
beyond that.
The last thing you want is to go at 10 and over for too long, and then suddenly the rates jump to 18, 19. That's very tough. You rarely see that come through. Flights it up a little.
Down the wicket,
didn't
cross
quite
the line,
get it, and
picks the fielder out again. Just the one.
What I like here is that Jezza not afraid to launch it up.
The score is 75 after 10.3, Lyd. Yeah.
Needing 12.5.
Just ask from the captain. That's what they need. They need to bring the commentary team from Fox Sports down to ground level just so that they can interact with the players.
That would be something.
So the skipper from Tradies unaware of how the opposition were travelling. A bit surprised by the total. Swing and a miss. Now I think he's probably just tried to overhit that.
Yeah,
so loses form, head just dropped to the side. Without fear of wanting to be too critical, the boys, that's what they need to do. They've got to be staying, but just pick a line.
Yep.
I think pick a line and hit through it.
So we're at 13 and over now. 9 overs, 13 and over. So that's 2.6 a ball. So, every time you miss one, it's not even enough to hit the next one for 4 to catch up. It's serious stuff now.
And you can't take away from the bowling either.
No, absolutely.
Really. I think Travis and Dane certainly set it up at the front end.
Yep.
4 overs straight from, or not 4 overs straight, but certainly 4 overs from Trav.
Dane 1 for 16 off 2. I mean, in the context, that's well under rate.
Yeah.
And also a key wicket, so more than job done. Travi 1 for 16 off 4, ridiculously important.
Yeah.
Straight up, you take Travis, his figures out of the requirement, and they need 11 and over, up from 9.6, and they're one less batsman.
So looking at the lines that Lydon's been bowling on as well, I mean, I think,
floats it up a little, and that'll be 4.
4.
That's a great shot. Just open the blade a little bit.
Yeah, I was looking for the gaps from where you go, because most people would probably trying to come over to the onside.
Yeah, with the breeze and the mow, the old cow mow, but that was classy from Gus. 36 off 25, similar to where he was at last game as well. Needs to kick on though, and quick.
That's a wide.
He went at it though. Probably a wry smoke there, I think.
I always laugh when the batsmen feel that they have to jump outside off stump to let the umpire know they think it's a wide.
in again. It's
And
wide
that's
as
a
well.
wide again, so that's 3 given up now. 4 in 2 balls there. It takes Gus to 40. So important for him to get his 50.
Good ball.
Oh, that is a great ball.
And he overcomplicated that there. I think he has to just step in. We know he can hit the big long levers.
Yeah.
Tradies, so they've bowled 58 legal balls here, and they've conceded just 4 boundaries and a 6, which is incredible, and all part of why they are where they are and as regarded as they are. Round the corner now, swats it away. That'll find the fence with ease. Lido a little full and a little leg side there, and Gus Sloan steps inside that, cracks it round the corner for a relatively easy boundary. So Lido has now gone for 12 this over. But the required rate still at 12.8, so not much in the way of movement there. So they're basically bang on what they need to do here, so they need to keep doing this. Shorter.
Oh,
that's the wrong one, I think.
Lower as well.
Did keep low.
Well, they're definitely going to get the 2, so they're going to get the runs for this over.
Well, there you go. There's 14 off that, so if anything, they've eroded it ever so slightly.
Good positive play there from the boys. So
Yeah.
Gus up to 46. I guess the next batsman in really is going to have to take the initiative and no siders, pretty much straight into it. And
just go. If Gus gets into the sheds, that's got to be the green light for everyone else. Harry Reese 17 off 12, a 4 and a 6 in that. He needs to increase that rate as well. Gus Sloan striking at 153. He'll need to get back into the sheds ASAP, and they'll be hoping with a monster Dorothy for 6.
Absolutely. Now Ronnie bowled
Cool, but here we
really
go.
noodled those down there and made them
Noodles.
very. Oh, there we go.
6.
There we go.
Got it.
Oh, that was a fantastic effort to try and stop that though.
That's Reese Finn down there. He can move.
So
He got enough of it, and that's what we're talking about with the breeze. Going the other end might have been a different tale.
yeah,
But Ronnie Corbett goes the distance first ball.
maybe this is the over.
Could be it.
Maybe 30
Has to be it.
30 off this over, and then we're a different game.
It certainly would be.
I know that in a game that I was playing in this week, we had one of the guys hit 3 consecutive 6s off the 1 over, and then
Lucky
missed
got
the
that on.
fully.
That should
And then
have
his
been gone.
Partner hit
before.
2 6s off the next 2 balls of the next over, and all of a sudden the game was completely changed, blown
Well,
wide
even
apart.
The Tradies yesterday, they needed to defend 86 off 30.
Wow.
And with the home run, the opposition got 84. So the Tradies won by 1 run.
Oh, it's going. That's coming to us. That's saved the equipment, lads. Oh, yeah, straight down the ground. 6.
All the way.
We would have caught that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have. I was getting out of here. Great shot. Harry Reese has decided it's time. That's his 3rd 6 now, and this will take some pressure off the requirement and also off Gus Sloan. He'll go again here, surely. Oh, good ball.
Oh, that's a great comeback ball, Ronnie.
Respect given and earned there. 1 to come.
So the difference here is if you can get this one away as
This
well.
is the one.
It doesn't have to be a 6, but they need at least
2
2,
or
4.
Yep. Just moving. That's 6.
That's gone. That's out.
No, that is out.
Listen, I think that's some positive
Right.
intent from Harry
Yeah.
Reese, and he wasn't far off, to be honest.
No.
And I think as we said, if that had gone over, then all of a sudden that's really pushing them ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, what was that? That might have been the cameraman's water bottle there coming down on top of us. But
So the 100 up. So we're 13 gone, 13 and over required, which translates to 91 off 35. Thinking about that Tradies stat from yesterday where they conceded 84 off their last 30 to win by 1. I'm sure they won't want a repeat of that. But, I cite that example merely for the fact that if it can happen, it often will at T20, even against the best teams and even in the highest of standards of games and the most important thereof.
Gaz Foran thinks it's over. He thinks Tradies are the victors. Damon Quick very quickly back to support his brothers in arms and says ETM for the victory still. That's the way, Damon.
Good Damon. Danos in, arrowing in. They'll be looking to double this. No, they won't.
Turner shouting through the social media. One more over Smart Cricket Corby. I have to say I can't see the big guy getting hit for 6.
No.
Even when he's been loose, it's been wide more than short. So
I think which way to err.
Yeah.
Ronnie Corbett 1 for 12 off 1. Could have been none for 18. That could have been a huge difference, but
that's a lovely shot, but it's not going to make it. That'll be 2 though, or should be 2.
Has to be 2. Finn down there at long on. He's not the tallest lad, but moves really well. Yep. That was a great catch by him.
Absolutely. That's the funny thing, though, is that breeze has changed direction since the start of the game. So they're actually hitting probably into that breeze now.
Yeah, he'd be gutted.
Yeah.
It was a swirler for sure.
Yeah, that's got to be 2 again.
No, double.
You're going to have to put the pressure on, boys. Biden just underarming that back to the bowler.
So, rate back up to 13.6. Honestly, you do not want to have too many quiet overs. Gus Sloan, 47, needs to hit this one for 6, getting the sheds.
Yep.
Wide
ball. Take that, 48.
Keeping by Trigger.
Yep. The bowler suggesting he's bringing the keeper into the game. Oh dear.
Very pragmatic.
Yeah.
Good ball.
Bit of a miss hit. Inside edge. Leading with the hands a bit. Coming back for 2.
Tight.
Yeah. Decided to go back.
Not the right move there. Yeah. Gus to 49. It's taken 33 balls though, and it's objectively a good innings, but it's under rate for the chase. It's been a very good innings though.
It has been.
No mean feat against these boys.
I think any time you score a 50 in a final, mate, it's
it's big stuff.
You've done your bit.
So have to come back for 3 if that doesn't go.
Absolutely.
Oh, lads. It's 3 every day.
Well, it does put Gus back on strike, I guess. So
yeah, that must be the logic. So 83 from 30 now.
That and he could be knackered. Could be the other reason.
Certainly
there.
Looks that way. So Danny Dent 5 off 3, and Gus Sloan 49-33. So 4 for 109 off 14. Need 83 off 30. A quick recap of the figures. Travi Harker bowled his little heart out. 1 for 16 off 4. Probably a telling spell. Irrespective of outcome in this match. Dane Seed 1 for 24 off 3 to back up his 40 off 29, and Reece Finn 1 for 15 off 2. They were the first 3 bowls.
Corbin in again. Yeah, full, but
punched out.
Good.
He's just going to have to go.
Yeah, you got to go, lads.
He's out here, I reckon. Oh no, great slide. Dramatic.
And that's his 50.
That is 50. And it's 51 off 34, an exact
better,
strike rate of 150. Excellent innings.
I would suggest that you don't take too many breaths, Mr. Sloan, because I think that the boys coming in are going to have license to swing.
Moving through those figures further. Jeremy Warren, none for 14 off 2. Lido, none for 24 off 2. We might not see him again, but bowled a brilliant spell in the previous match. And Ronnie Corbett, 1 for 14 off 1.1. Welcome to the crease, Sean Lawrence, 81 from 29.
The Lightning, as his mates call him.
He'll have batted in easier situations than this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Tough stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the worst thing about this is you might get a full one early doors in your innings and you're trying to overhit it. But
might sneak under, or you might be out.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of ways you can get out in a pressure situation like this.
I think plant a foot and swing.
Yep, there he goes.
Yep.
Through the line, that'll take some chasing.
Yep, 4 bits.
That'll be 4.
That's
Good
it.
shot. Cleared the front foot.
If we had any suggestion there, I think it maybe not clearing it as far and giving himself a little bit more, but
he did push it out, but I mean, 4's a 4. Need a few more of those.
Beautiful afternoon here on the Gold Coast again. Couldn't have asked for a better week for cricket.
No, absolutely not. Not a drop of rain.
That's a wide ball.
Too warm.
Oh, okay. Umpire says that one's fair, so...
Must have tested the line, the absolute limit of it, but fair call.
But again, as we sort of say to you guys, we're sitting slightly off to the side of the wicket, so...
Indeed.
The umpire is definitely the best person to judge all of those sort of decisions. And Warren O'Rourke, plenty of experience in LMS now.
Steps into it. That one does not get up.
Doesn't get up. And you pointed out, I think, in the first dig, there's that area just outside off at that end that is staying low. I think you're probably going to have to attack it a bit harder and come running at the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to step into it now.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that was even wider. So this is actually really good bowling here by Ronnie,
clever.
I think.
He's holding it back and he's bowling very wide of off. And if you're going to mow dirty down to cow, you're not going to get enough of it for 4 or even for 6 or even 4.
I say to a lot of new teams that join us for LMS that, you know, if you're going to bowl and you don't know where the wide marker is, well, push it until the umpire tells you, and then that's your line.
First one's only worth one, that's exactly right. Because that's where to bowl. Situation like this.
Welcome to Matt Hills and James Edward Kane's back again, and Praveen Dasari. Praveen, a franchisee of one of the Indian franchises for LMS.
Awesome, welcome mate.
19 countries around the world running LMS now. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. That should be 4 straight down to us.
Beautifully timed.
Oh!
He's done it. Yep, that's safe.
Yep.
Beautiful work there.
Super effort there from Baz. Wow.
It's little things like that that mean that the tradies are a formidable foe wherever you face them. Stepping
Walking
into
down.
it this time, that's better.
Going to have to go 2.
They'll have to double up.
Yep, and in fact, no, 3's probably not on the cards, but
So we're looking over 3 a ball now. It's really make or break. The tradies have been fantastic, as ever. Just going down leg.
yep.
We'll take a leg by.
I'm impressed though with the way that the Ment have actually remained positive. I mean,
Absolutely.
there's not much you can do about good bowling, and
No.
and they're still eking this out at the moment. But I mean, there's some positive aggression there. Plant go inside out, but again, just being forced to try and overhit the ball.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a lot going on out there. Just home.
Yeah, just home. And honestly, at this late end of the season, being forced into running these 2s non-stop, I mean...
Yeah, it's warm enough in the pontoon under the shade, so...
I'm gassed sitting here commentating, so it's sort of... Kane Austin says that it's another trophy to the Tradies. Reece Howard shakes hands and walks off, guys. Tradies win. Well, the game's not over yet, but... Oh, that's it. Inside out.
Again,
that's
they'll
good.
have to run 2.
No positive cricket. Keep running, boys. That's it.
Keeper's end again.
Yep. Good fielding from the captain.
The end of that over. So 66 from 4 overs now. 16 and a half. That translates to 3.3 runs per ball. So, you know, if it's time to just start hitting bombs or it's over. The tradies have been clinical throughout.
Absolutely. Should be lots of people to thank this week as well, I think, as we get towards the end of the coverage. All of our umpires that have given up their time, taken their own leave to be up here this week and umpire the games. 42 teams was a big ask. There's a few holes to fill as well along the way.
Game without umps.
Oh, done him. He was a bit tired, that swing, I think. But
bit tired.
Another wicket. Well deserved to Ronnie. Probably take the time to thank, I think, Lewis, our cameraman, as well, up behind us there. Not sure if he can hear us or not, but I hope he got his name right then as well. It was Lewis, wasn't it?
I believe so.
I believe so. Give us a wave, Lewis. No, he's not listening. But anyway, big thanks to Rob and Alex, who have been coordinating everything for the Open this week as well.
Yeah, Rob, tireless as always.
I'm not sure that he sleeps.
No.
Yeah. But also big thanks to Trav and Beck here at Runaway Bay and the Runaway Bay Cricket Club, to the groundskeepers. It's sensational work that they put in each week, to all the volunteers that have come out to help set up each week. I think it's fantastic. It really is an amazing facility up here on the Gold Coast. If you haven't had a chance to get out here, get out here. If you're a Kiwi team, put the pressure on to come over to the next one as well.
Absolutely. The boys had a great time and played some great cricket.
The boys from Court Short up there in Auckland are very keen. I know I'm heading home to Palmerston North next week, and I'll be trying to get teams from there over here. I could be being ambitious there, but you know, there's a real growing family of Oceania LMS, I think. Oh, that's a great nut.
Corbett.
That's right through him.
It is
wow.
bold, yeah.
Yes, it's straight through him.
So he's got 3
my
for
goodness
19 now.
me.
Poor old Michael Weir goes for a goal.
Oh, he hasn't had a good game, poor Mick. I think that he bowled into the arc of some great batting from two of their guys, and unfortunately got one that straightened up down the line there and took off stump out of the ground.
Yep, Big Gus Sloan returns, and the situation's even more dire than when he left. 51 off 34, he should hold his head high. And Michael Weir, not his best game, but a fantastic tournament.
And a fantastic player for both the Wombats and for these guys as well. I mean, as I said, I don't think he bowled badly, but you just got on the tail end of some guys in some form.
These are great cricketers from both sides, and Tradies executed beautifully here, and more consistently, I think. Enjoy the Ment have been winning and winning and winning.
Now, if you look at the tail end of this, mate, with 3 overs to go, we're looking at about 25 to 30 runs to be scored.
Yep.
Shot over the top. Beautiful, positive cricket there.
Field in.
Yep. You're going to look at down the barrel of the Ment scoring about 160.
Yeah.
Which is an above par total.
Mate, that's a winning total.
Absolutely.
In almost, well, you'd have to say 8 out of 10 games on this field. 160 as a chase will see you home with the bacon, but 191 was always exceptional.
It was really great stuff. I'm honestly, given the way, and I wasn't trying to be nasty to Ronnie either, but just noodling the ball up is probably the way to describe the first game, and even the start of this spell.
With you in that.
But, geez, talk about Travis having it on a string. I think this last over or so, I think he's been in the same boat, and particularly after getting, knocked.
Took some stick.
Yep. Oh, is that another one? Is that another one? Batsman saying it's hit the ground. Umpire at square leg. Umpire at square leg has said he thinks he's going to confer. So Trigger thinks he's caught it. He's out. Yes, that's a great catch. So listen, I think that's great work there from the boys to come together and check that.
Yep.
The umpire at square leg obviously in a better position. Fox Sports contracts for these two. Well, I do have a mate of mine that does some Fox Sports commentary now in the soccer, and guy I used to work with, Rafe Griffin, does fantastic work in
Hook
that.
it up, Petey, hook it up.
In the what's the A-League pre-season thing?
I'm not much into that.
FFA Cup. That's it.
Right.
Does some great work with that, and certainly thanks to LMS for giving us the opportunity to do the commentary.
A real dream come true.
Oh, mate.
Ronnie Corbett, a dream come true for him. 4 for 23 in the final with his noodly meds off the back of Trav Harker's 1 for 16 or 4.
I love his shoes too. I'm not a fashion king, but gotta wear those Larry shoes.
You have to say the game's pretty much done now.
I think it might be, but no wide ball there. But listen, I think as again we've said, the Ments should hold their heads high.
Mate, they should be proud as punch.
It's an amazing tournament for them to come through with the standard of cricket at this particular tournament this year. I mean, we had favourites falling all over the shop. We had Spartans as favourites, Oceans were favourites, Rock Lobsters were favourites. Yes, no Wait from Canberra, they were favourites after the first round. 3 short, your perennials were coming in. Bomb Squad from Brisbane, second 11. There was more great teams here this year than I think we've seen ever in the past. So
if you told me any of those, say 8 or 10 teams you just rattled off one, wouldn't have been surprised. Dane in.
Oh, no way does he pick it on. I thought it was Ronnie there for a second.
Rice smirk.
Ambitious there.
I think he knew the answer to that one, but worth a shout. 62 or 14, I think. Well, that's tough. Sean Lorentz, last man. Dane, a chance to close up a wonderful day of cricket for him.
Yeah.
Arrows in, well connected. That'll
lovely
be
there, Lightning.
Oh no.
Lightning chased by the Leiden.
Just chased it down easy. What am I seeing?
Wow. Deceptively fast. Deceptively fast there from Leiden. Oh, hello. Leiden, they could have been warming the shoulder up, I thought, but oh dear.
So, winding down this game, but Tradies should be commended once again.
That will
for
be
another wonderful campaign.
Yes, they will be 3 times LMS Australian champions.
Incredible feat.
First team to that title. They have a lot of history, both out on the field and behind the bar at this establishment. They represent their club and area grandly.
Always
that's a lovely shot as well.
Them and talk to them. Yeah, cracking shot. That's some theatrics from Lido.
Nice one, Lido. And that's such a common thing with the last man stands, is that's when you start flushing the ball but finding the fielder.
Oh, absolutely. You'll never hit a ball better than when the game's probably just outside of reach. Arrowing in again, the big D man.
Oh, slower ball.
Slow.
I've been really impressed with his performance with both bat and ball.
He's been fantastic. A real pillar at the top there.
I haven't seen a lot of him prior to coming up, and I've been really impressed. I think both he and Reese really well. Some great bowling
there. They make a great combination.
Yeah, I think
with bat and ball.
I umpired bomb squad early in the competition. I thought Timmins bowled well and Wade bowled well.
Very well. Simon Wade, probably one of the best players of the tournament. Capped off his tournament yesterday with a 70 and a 4 to knock Lobsters out.
Yeah, I think I must admit I haven't followed how Lobsters were progressing, so I don't know who to comment on from their lineup this year. But
I thought I'd check in with them closer to the big stuff. But fantastic team still. Much respect to them.
Second 11, great. I think the Old Fools, I'm just going to give them a mention because they're a good bunch of blokes.
Well deserved. We managed to knock them over somehow, and I don't think either us or them know quite how that happened.
Old Iraq again here, repping for AJ. Reminder to anyone that hasn't picked up raffle tickets already, get some raffle tickets. They'll be drawn after the match. Belting prizes, yeah, absolutely.
Reese in now.
Go.
Did he get it?
Oh, he's going to go.
Down to Travie.
Travie won't get that in. Sorry, Trav. There's nothing in the tank to throw. There's nothing in the tank to throw it that far.
That's right. Yeah, look, Reese Finn 1 for 27, backing up his 42 off 21. That kind of innings really blew the tradies batting open.
Do you think Ronnie's been stiffed? He's taken 4 for in a final, and he's got a chance for 5 for.
Well, I reckon he might bowl the last.
Well, let's see how we go.
And if he doesn't, I think we'll find out that he asked to have it off.
That could be the case.
Barely getting down there. We saw Dane's last ball. He wouldn't have got fined in a school zone there. It would have been sub 40k, I reckon.
Dear.
So 2 more to the total. Reese Finn bowling a nice full trajectory. He'll close out with 1 for here.
Oh, just plugged it down the ground.
1 for 31 off 4 he'll go with his 42 off 21. Another impressive all-round performance from him. 2 for 39 off 4 in the last game plus runs. We're coming up to the last over now, 52 needed. It's almost purely academic now. Shawnee Lorenz, 18 off 15. A big cheer goes out around the ground, not quite sure.
Oh, I see what's happened here.
Ronnie
Corbett. Ronnie, we think you've been stitched up. We think you've been stitched up. Trigger with the final over.
Could this be academic?
It could be. Sue Gorham with some positive words for the guys from the Ment, but
not bad.
Oh my goodness!
Bring him on early.
Oh, please don't let him bowl a maiden. Please don't let him bowl a maiden. Thanks, Nathan Dale. Great work, fellas. Another outstanding tournament. Thank you, mate, for your support of the tournament.
Always great to see Nathan Dale.
Yeah.
Fine ambassador.
Does some great work with Robs as well with the White Rhino Cup, which I think is fantastic. Oh dear, would this be the way to finish it? Oh, oh my goodness. Oh, seriously. Who has those gloves?
I think that might be Reese.
Oh,
might have got stuck there.
But listen, fantastic finish here.
Trigger bowling well.
Yeah, with the pads on. Very Greg Axon. I think 3 short were the ones that brought that to the tournament the other year. And
I might start doing that in a helmet, I think.
Oh, my goodness.
Not bad. He's got that, though. That's cracked.
I think if I was the batsman, I might be, just checking the action there.
You reckon there's a bit of a bend?
Is there
close to
18
degrees?
A bend in that action? Just asking there, could be chucking.
It's just very lazy.
Well, it's a lazy action is the way it's been described from Renault. So, oh dear.
2 to come in the match.
2 to
Good
come.
ball. That is not bad at all.
Oh, hello.
I guess you'd call this leg spin.
Oh, well,
Generously.
maybe.
And here we go.
Final ball of this
Tradies
year's
to take it
champs.
out.
Oh, that's it, Lightning. That's it, Lightning. Wait
Got some
for you, mate.
theatrics.
Wait for you. Home run in the offing for you, buddy.
Yeah, take it, son.
Take it, son.
Up it goes.
Go.
Got it.
Get out. Get out. Get out.
Big Dane.
Oh, well,
boundary
that's a
4.
positive finish.
And game. Tradies win
Oh,
by
dear.
41.
That's
Enjoy
right.
the Ment. That's their 150 up. That would have won most games on this field, but Tradies earn every accolade there.
Absolutely.
191 was always going to be extremely tough. And one can't help but think that Reece McCarthy's home run really moved that total, that final total, into the insurmountable range there.
Absolutely. I think, as we've said a few times here now, the ETM boys really need to hold their heads high.
What a tournament they've had.
We're talking about the strongest Oz champs ever.
Well, mate.
You've made it through to
Knocked
play.
out Ocean.
Knocked out Oceans. Knocked out second 11. They're big scalps. They didn't knock out second 11. Tradies did, but
They knocked a few out though.
Yeah, along the way,
And,
I think
a few of even the big teams didn't really know much about them to begin with, but mark words, everyone knows them now.
thanks to Riffat and the boys in the background as well for doing all of the live streaming and
Wonderful stuff.
and getting that stats up for us. That's amazing work there again.
Looks a picture.
Thanks to everyone at LMS HQ that's been involved in spreading the word. Thank you for the lovely comments we're getting through on Facebook as well about the commentary. But it's all about the Tradies this afternoon. The first team ever to get to 3 championship wins.
Yep. Well, 41-run win is solid, as is a 27-run win against second 11 to get there. They thoroughly deserve the trophy and the accolades.
2011, 2013 and 2018 for the Tradies.
Just when you thought we'd seen the last of them.
Yep, I think they've been developing their squad. As we know,
new faces, that Dane Seed and Reece Finn combo is electric.
Absolutely, and I mean,
bat and bowl beautiful.
well, think about that now that Jordan and Lydon are the veterans of that side. Along with Trav. So
Trav, the pallbearer, and like I said, 2 for 41 off 40 balls today in his finals campaign. That's just ridiculous.
it is unreal. I mean, great work there from the umpires as well, Srikanth
Great job.
and Warren.
Level-headed and cool.
Absolutely, and perfect for that sort of for that match. Thank you again to Lewis, our cameraman, who's above us. There we go. He's listening to us now. He's got the live feed over there to the presentation area. We will, we'll go through the coverage. So have you got the scorecard up there?
I do indeed.
Dave? Let's go through the
So let's see
scorecard
how
for
it
us.
all went. So Tradies you can't trust, 191 for 5 from 20.
Fantastic
Dane
effort.
Seed 40 off 29. Reece Finn 42 off 21. Really punchy that. Reece McCarthy 61 not out of 26. Top scored with a home run. Really changed things.
Amazing.
And Lido 38 off 22.
He's got them up now, and you're seeing those on the feed.
Yep, indeed.
Well, we're just looking at the innings there as well for Enjoy the Ment.
And as we saw, Gus Sloan 55 off 36 has had a great tournament and a great day. Harry Reese 29 off 17 with 3 massive bombs, and Sean Lawrence 28 not out off 20, keeping his cool at the end. Bowling wise, Trav Harker 1 for 16 off 4. Everything fell into place off the back of that spell. Dane Seed 1 for 26 off 4. Reece Finn 1 for 31 off 4. Tight enough, well under required rate. And Ronnie Corbett 4 for 23 off 3. As you can hear, a lot of celebration already underway, and one can't help but feel that'll go long into the night.
Yes, I think that. Who's your pick for man of the match? For me, it's a toss-up between Finn or Reece. I know, and that's with, like, even though Ronnie took 4, I think the combination of overs at the front end.
Yeah,
and,
I think
and
Ronnie's
the 50.
4 is incredible, but it wouldn't have occurred without the efforts of Harker and Seed and Finn.
Yeah,
And I'm dialing all the way back to Reece McCarthy.
okay.
Who's 25, who at 25 off 18 was looking okay. Then suddenly, bang, 8 balls later, he's on 61. And he moved them almost single-handedly from a good score to a great and match-winning score. Giving it to him, the home run was everything.
Yeah.
Honestly, Travi Harker, a massive mention for that 1 for 16 or 4. when you're needing 9.6 and someone concedes just 4 and over with a top order wicket, that's just going to really put the pressure on. Yourself?
Listen, I was going with Dane with the wickets,
Yeah,
the front end bowling in partnership with Trav, the 50 top order runs, but also, I mean, I think part of that as well for me is that both of those guys, both games in the finals, both the semi and the final.
Can't think about both games.
Yeah, I think the fact that what we saw is that with Dane, he was holding back the ball in his delivery stride, and then in his later overs he was putting a bit more gas behind it. So that's my man of the match, I think, for this one.
Yeah, honestly, I think gone to a few of them. I think there were some incredible efforts. Yeah,
I think good captaincy from Lydon. And good field placements as well. Really forced them to hit to the field.
Did a good job.
You can't fault them.
He knows what he's doing.
Absolutely. Listen, I think that's it. Player of the series, I saw a couple of people asking who the player of the series might be, and honestly, I'm going to wait to hear from the presentation because
take some calculation.
there's been some massive sixes, massive hundreds.
Hauls of wickets.
There's someone hit 2 home runs in a couple of days. I don't know. Who I would pick in that space.
There'd be 20 names that if they were read out, I wouldn't balk at. At least. So we'll have to confirm that at a later point. But thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone for watching, and I note my friend Rafe Griffin there, as I said, has just tuned in as well. He may have come there late to the piece, but you got a name drop before, Rafe, for your work with the FFA Cup. But again, it's been a marvellous week of cricket here at Runaway Bay. I'm looking forward to coming back again next year.
Cannot wait. And the fact that it's only in September now means it's even closer than it would normally be. So 10 short months and we're here again. And a lot of LMS to go ahead in between now and then. So look out for us wherever you live. Check in with lastmanstands.com and get a team in and get cracking. And
I guess, mate, what I'd like to say is thanks for commentating. It's been a joy. It's been a joy to do it. As you said, this is sort of fantasy cricket material for me, being able to sit here and talk about the game that I love. So
bucket list item checked, definitely. It's been a pleasure, mate. Always good to see you as well. And what wonderful cricket we were treated to.
And so we'll wrap up the coverage here now, ladies and gents. Thanks for joining us over a wonderful week, and thanks to everyone that's been involved. We'll head on over to the presentation now.
Thanks very much. Catch us later.